We're just streaming.
Oh, okay.
That's how we do this.
Yeah. Whew. All right.
Did we actually on the Discord? Did we tell people that we were streaming?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We did.
I'll tell them we're live now.
Yeah, please. For those of you who are wondering what's going on and watching this in post, I'm Big Mike, and this is Sam, the production manager, and welcome to another craft check. It is a lovely Saturday afternoon. Hi, Tipsealer. I don't know who is talking to us on Twitch or YouTube, so say hi if you can. I do believe that sound is Devin coming down the stairs.
Or is it's Devin!
That's Devin.
Yay!
Where?
That's Devin!
Why?
So for the first time ever, Devin is joining us for craft check.
Oh my god! Wasn't I the one who said we should do this? This sort of
Yeah,
thing?
it was.
This was your idea, actually. We've been doing
this is the first time you've done
Yeah.
it.
2 months without you. So, before we begin, I do have something to talk about with the last time we were in here, and we spent a good 2 hours complaining about someone we knew personally. I owe everyone actually an apology for that, because of the fact that we were... I think 66 pages was enough to begin with. Thank you, Tipsealer. Tipsealer sent us a PDF document, but I'll get to him in a second. What had happened was we had spent the last 2 hours live Crashroom just ranting about people we know. So, and that was wrong of us because we said their real names.
It wasn't the fact that they said their real names, you said their last name.
Well, just in general, we're not going to be doing that ever again.
I'm trying to.
We're going to do our best not to. If we do rant, we're welcome to rant and rave about anyone, but we're going to use like pseudonyms and stuff like that. So,
Mamushka.
whatever is appropriate, but we are sorry. This isn't just our rant spaces where we talk and chat, and we're big trash talkers because that's who we are. But
Yep.
it was wrong of us to do that, so taking ownership of it. So, what Tipsealer is bringing up is the fact that he literally sent us a PDF last night that he had custom made of all of the backgrounds he had found, period, for 5th edition, including third-party ones, which is now in the D20 Live group. Well, one of the group chats that we have.
Here, Devin, I'll move your coffee so that way it's where you can sit.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Because
Yeah.
you're not going to be you're not
what
doing
are they
stuff over
saying?
there.
No,
You're doing
no,
over here.
no.
We have a Brian. We have a Sergeant Spate. We have Byron.
Hey, Byron. So, today, what will you be making, Samantha?
Well, today I'm going to be bookbinding because that's... Hang on, I'll switch it over. Because I've been really into bookbinding lately. And this is actually the first book that I ever made, but as you can tell, it's not perfect. Because, well, it's a little too... The paper is a little too
We should actually put
wide.
pictures of our finished work up in the craft check.
That might be a good
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, in the craft check thread, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the first book that I ever did, but I want to make another one, and this is fake leather. I have actual real leather here. So,
Jesus Christ.
which...
Can you switch cameras just so people can see the box Devin just brought in?
Okay, yeah, if we can switch it back. Yeah.
There.
Your malhooks.
Oh, good
Jesus, man.
Please don't drop it.
Don't
Yeah.
drop it. Is that all just books?
Oh, no. There's a book for you.
Oh,
Just to
look
take a
at
look
this.
through.
The book I've been complaining about.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it exactly what you always wanted?
Oh, look. Just more faffing off to the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
Is this any good?
I actually really like it.
Okay. To be fair, Devin, you always really like something on the outset, and then like 6 months later, I get back to you.
This I've read through well over half the book,
Yeah.
and I quite enjoy it. And I'm going to be running a game about it eventually. Yeah. But what I'll be doing is.
Do you actually have the core book here?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, Dave's going to bring that, and that'll get to what I'm doing. But what are you building today?
Today I am building tiles for. I brought this just so people have an idea.
Oh, you're building Castle Ravenloft.
I'm doing my very first tiles for Castle Ravenloft.
So we should point out, I don't know how the 5th edition map differs from the i6 module. Let me take a look. That's pretty close.
It's
That's
fairly close.
pretty close. I don't see a lot of difference right out of the outset. I'd have to look at the module.
It's got the Heart of Darkness there.
Don't see it. They don't know what that is yet.
Oh, okay, fine, fair.
Yeah.
But it has that, whatever that is.
It has the major thing in the tower.
Yes,
in
it
the
does.
high
It has
tower.
the major thing in the high tower. Yeah.
There's all the lower bailey. There's the
It
lower.
has the crypt, of course. Right?
There's the lower crypt that you can see in the lower levels. I believe that's Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Yeah, so it has those. And the other weird thing in this map is just to give you guys an idea. We are adventuring in this
in the long game.
In the long game, we're adventuring. Nope, I need to get that closer. All right.
This camera.
This camera.
Yeah.
We're adventuring right here in the Valley of Barovia.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
and Castle Ravenloft being right there. And the game that I'm running at the store, and this is what 5th edition ends up having. It took all the I6 module, all the reference stuff, and made the larger Barovia.
Yeah.
Which is all source. It's there was Strahd's journal that he did. I Vampire. There was a bunch of other modules that were released. So that's basically what they killed Curse of Strahd off of.
Your arm is on camera.
No, I'm wondering where I should sit.
Oh, well, I can sit wherever because I don't actually need the table today.
So Mike's probably going to sit
What are
over
you
here.
going to be? Where do you?
I might need some table.
Okay, that's fine. What are you building today, Dave? As Devin piles everything on what I was going to show, what I was going to do.
I will move it. I just need a spot to put
I'm going to
stuff.
work on some terrain.
Okay, cool. So you two are going to both be doing terrain, so you'll need the table,
Yes.
obviously.
And
Sam will need the table.
fail that. Make a Treadvan character.
And there. So basically, these are
I brought my Treadvan.
tiles for the dungeon that connect into other tiles for larger dungeon, as well as pillar pieces. Right. So.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, so, and Sam, if you could cut to the shot.
Yeah.
I, today, will be building a character in both 1st edition Pathfinder, 5th edition, and the Pathfinder playtest system. I am going to determine which system is better today.
Faster. Faster is the
Well,
word.
I will be clocking it. I will see.
Sorry,
I'm going to be. I will be clocking what I will be doing today. I will be clocking the same character, building in all 3 systems and noting the differences. And we're going to actually have a real discussion about it. Finally, we're going to compare these 3 fucking systems.
Yep.
Maybe talk about Starfinder. I don't know which is going to be the fastest for me because, as we all know, you guys know this, the fans don't. I am the shittiest person
No,
for
you're not.
mechanics.
Yes, you are.
I am.
You're pretty bad.
I am
You're
pretty bad at mechanics. I would say I'm decent at story,
Oh, muffin.
but for mechanics I'm really bad, and I can take ownership of that. Just oh my god, I'm gonna get my stuff off the table because
Sorry, Mike.
I apparently I'm not allowed table at my own craft
No,
store.
no table for you.
No table for you.
I will go back here
Or
and
in
look
your
at the
own
chat.
There we go. I think that's a little...
Okay.
As I continue to add
I'll move
more.
over a little bit so that
Well,
we
I'm gonna just curl up here on the couch,
and
and I will
more.
be doing character sheet stuff here.
And
So,
more.
chat. Quick question:
I can't
who
believe
do
you
you
put
want
this
me to?
Curtain on. I can't believe you put this curtain on backwards.
You know what? I thought it was right at the time. And you haven't fixed it, so really, when you point
This
at
is the
me,
first I've noticed it, so...
bullshit. And when you point at me, you put 3 fingers back at yourself and 1 at Satan.
Boy.
They can't see your hand. They cannot see your hand pointing at me.
don't fall, please.
But,
Okay,
boy.
so. All right, so
I learned
Asking-
from Vines.
the chat.
Here you go. Come on through.
What do you guys want me to build a character in? No, I will not be doing the Dragon Zord nor the Titanus today because the fact that... What?
I just the idea that they're asking for that's awesome.
I will not be today because you guys bought me the Second Ed book. I will be doing something later on with Second Ed that I'm still trying to work the logistics out for, but I felt it
Yeah,
was
thank
due-
you guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, the Second Ed Pathfinder stuff you guys got me. I felt it would be nice to say thank you by doing something with it and actually doing a comparison because there's so many people out there who are comparing these systems, and I hate how goddamn PC they're being about it.
I love you, baby.
Okay, it's gotten to that. Did you bring the terrain you're working on today, Dave?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you want to show the...
It's just bagged right now.
Okay, well,
It's
that's...
pretty much what I spent last stream
Okay.
getting out of the blister pack.
Do they all want me just to do 5th Ed?
People want you to 5th Ed, and then Ian Lund says he's painting his minis.
Oh,
Yay!
Cabros is reporting for duty.
hello!
Ow.
Hold
Are you
on.
okay, Sam?
Yeah, Articulate is here as well. He said start with Pathfinder first. So that
Because
way,
you know it
because that's
so
the
well?
system you know the best.
It is your modus operandi.
We also have
That
a
is
faceplant Jan here.
All right.
how that phrase works.
Oh, he was painting
Oh.
these things. Sorry.
Ooh,
Thank you all for joining us today.
Yes, and John's here saying that he's basically reminding everybody. It's like, what do you want him to build?
John.
But yeah, I will. Next month, I will go back to doing Titanus and the Dragon Sword. I'll start them properly. But once that's done, if you guys want me to, I don't know what you guys want me to craft afterwards. I have a Gunpla I can make, but I will have to paint it, and I've never painted Gunpla before. Or I can literally just do character building, and you can watch me struggle.
Do you want me to bring over my airbrush next time?
I think she does.
And we can just
Also, my
play
airbrush.
with airbrushing.
Airbrushes.
We will need a fan to get the air out, though.
Okay. Yeah, no, we would... Okay, well, we'll think about that.
It'll
we
get
can make
strong
that
in here.
We can make that a special craft stream, and we can set something up, and we can actually craft, like, all the venting stuff for it. What books did you bring today, Dave?
The
Yes,
books
he
I
wrote.
brought.
Devin is building Castle Ravenloft.
Devin, no, you're not building this for us, but we will... If I check your map and it matches up with mine, we can just as easily.
Exactly, yes.
Because I'm using the i6 and 2nd edition build of it, so I don't know how the 5th ed map differs.
By the way, guys, this is real leather. I bought real leather for this book binding thing.
Peter would be pissed.
I know. Peter would be so pissed. But feel how good it feels.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's see,
That's actually
'cause
really nice.
I haven't touched this yet. Oh, wow. That's very nice.
That's
Feel the actual inside, too.
Oh, my God.
it's supple.
It's
Oh,
so good.
Why is
isn't
it so wrong to attack cows?
F you, Peter. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
Then again, PETA isn't...
Peter has some questionable ad campaigns.
Yeah, but PETA has some questionable period everything. I've heard... Every so often someone in Discord mentions PETA, and then someone says, they're a terrorist organization, technically, right? Where did my pencil go?
Or would they fall under hate group?
Apparently, under certain American classifications, I have heard they count as a terrorist group for certain actions.
Oh,
Not
no!
like,
No!
not like that. This is a white carpet.
It's fine, it's fine,
Okay.
it's fine. Oh, yeah,
My dude.
No, that's fine. Nothing. Ooh.
Where's the pencil?
Trodvang.
Trodvang, is that anything like Sveinhander?
It's like Draco and Drummer.
Tipsy was like
okay.
feeling rich, Sam, and then Byron's
It's,
like rich Corinthian leather.
Okay, I have misplaced my
You know what
pencil,
makes-
apparently.
You know what makes Corinthian leather that much more expensive than regular leather?
What's that?
The name Corinthian.
Ah.
There is no difference.
I promise I'll make room for more people once I actually get everything
Take your
set up.
time. There's
Okay, I can move my book press if you like.
No, it's fine.
Like-
I will take up center of table because I won't need all those pieces at the same time.
Yeah, you can
so.
set them all on the side. Sam,
Sam-
can you pass me a pencil from inside the thing? Because I seem to have misplaced mine.
Sam, you lied to us. That is not a ghetto book
It
press.
is a ghetto book
It looks
press.
awesome.
Does it?
It does.
Yes, it does.
It's handmade.
Oh,
It-
good, yeah, blunt. No, I
Okay,
need a mechanical. This is
Sam,
gonna be
it
bad
uses
otherwise.
proper screws rather than just screwing legitimately two pieces of wood together.
Oh,
or
fuck,
like
there it
hand
is.
clamps.
Yeah, so we're using hand clamps. Yeah.
Well, because
That
like
looks
okay,
awesome.
Because this I'm not gonna hang on. I'll show you guys what my book press is because the problem is there's two problems with this. One, it's
Yeah.
okay. So this is my book press. Whoop.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry about
And
leaning on us.
basically what it is, it's two cutting boards that I drill a hole through, and then there's a giant screw
Would you like
with
a
a nut and some washers. Like there's two nuts and two washers. So that way you can actually squish things together. But the problem is that if I unfortunately let
If it
the
reaches.
two cutting boards get together, then I can't get them apart, and I've had to unscrew this twice now. So I put a thing of insoles in
Literally
there
setting that.
to make
There
sure
was-
that it doesn't
Hang on.
get stuck.
I need to point out something. Devin is setting his hot glue gun. I have newspapers I literally left upstairs.
Oh, beautiful. I'll go get those.
Go get those.
Oh my God, Devin!
Jesus, man, that's a fire hazard.
That's a
He's
fire.
setting his hot glue gun on the literal Waterdeep book.
Yes.
Whoa.
The 5th Ed Waterdeep book, which, while I agree with that on a moral level, is a waste of money, dude.
Actually, I unplugged that. I'm not going to be using it right away.
Actually, I can.
I haven't plugged it in yet.
Oh, beautiful.
I
Okay,
questioned your sanity and I stopped the action.
Oh
Do
my
we need to
God.
move this?
We can move it so that way you have more space.
No. It's fine.
People are going
It's
to watch this
legitimately
in
right
post
here.
and just be like, they're all crazy.
Yes.
That way there's
Again,
more space
on
for
my
you.
white carpet.
And you know what the most dangerous thing I'm working with is?
What's that?
Imagination and white glue.
Imagination of white. I could have used white glue. Hot glue gun's better.
True, very true. But I brought my
Shadow
own.
Crown is hosting us.
Thank you, Shadow Crown.
Is what?
Shadow Crown is hosting us.
Ah,
All right, thank you very much.
thank you much.
What is YouTube saying? Because I can't see what they're saying.
Hello, Shadow Crone's viewers.
Yes.
Sergeant Spate is saying nice Sam, apparently to my my ghetto fucking...
You're the only one who's as down on your press as you are.
It's splintering!
Okay, that
we
could use
literally,
standing.
we all just last night subscribed to Michael Cthulhu.
Yes.
I did.
What?
I did too.
Yeah, and that man's majestic, and his shit is ghetto as balls. So
I watched his 40k sword darks, the dark dueling sword thing.
yeah,
Okay,
Oh my God.
Okay, Cabro said, had to pause and rewind to make sure I heard correctly. What the fuck, Big Mike? What's wrong with Waterdeep?
It's not Waterdeep. I will say this: it is not
Sure.
Waterdeep itself.
Okay, so I'm good, but do you have enough room, Sam?
I'm fine.
For everything?
Here's
Okay.
my thing.
All right.
And I got another one for you, but if that
Cool.
falls.
Thank you.
It's not Waterdeep for me because Waterdeep is arguably the best thing in the Forgotten Realms. I maintain that. I just don't care for the Forgotten Realms at all. Part of it is due to my ex who shoved the realms down my throat. Yeah,
Like a big old wheel of cheese.
Yeah. There are other... I have other issues with it. I don't like Drizzt as a character. I think Elminster is...
OPAF.
It's just... There's so much wrong with the characterization within it.
Is that what you call a Mary Sue?
Oh, Drizzt... No, he's not even a Mary Sue, because
No,
Drizzt...
Elminster.
Oh, yeah, he is. And that's not even a slight against Ed Greenwood, really, because... And I've heard the positives for Drizzt and Elminster, because a lot of people like Elminster because for a brief period of time, Elminster was actually a woman. He'd gotten gender swapped to qualify as a priestess of Mystra.
As a priestess of Mystra, yeah.
Like
Which
Fussy Britches.
Yeah. Whereas Fussy Britches is probably going to be permanent, though. And for a lot of the trans community and stuff, they really liked that. Right? Which is why I'm not as hard on Elminster as I am on Drizzt, because I've been forced to read Drizzt fiction.
Ooh.
Legitimate Drizzt fiction. And it's terrible. And my thing is...
Isn't it just a big fanfic?
It really fucking is. My thing is, Wizards is constantly putting stuff in the realms, as opposed to Dark Sun, as opposed to giving us a second Curse of Strahd module, as opposed to going back to Dragonlance.
Greyhawk, yeah.
Yeah, the Dragonlance modules, I've been told, are pretty damn good for their time.
The Dragonlance? Oh, yes, they were.
And we haven't had a revision of those original 12 modules since Second Ed.
Yeah, and I have no idea why. They haven't gone back to Birthright, but that's a personal gripe of mine.
Tasty.
You know what? Everything you've told me about Birthright, I'm legitimately surprised. Anyway, Devin.
Yes.
What are you doing to show your crafting technique?
So what this is right now is I'm making, to give you guys an idea, I'm doing the entrance hall to Ravenloft. I've got to look at this camera.
Well, this is the one that shows the table.
Show the table, so you can't even see my face. So,
yeah.
This camera.
You're in the bottom.
I'm doing the entrance hall to Ravenloft, and essentially what it's going to look like, and I'll just put the pieces together, is I looked at the map, went, okay, all right, I want to be able to use minis on this, but I want to be able to do what's called squareless or gridless combat. So the purpose of that is you don't have like individual squares that are like, the size of a miniature and you count squares. I want them to be abstract. You can use range finders. You can do that sort of thing. And you do that by saying, okay, each of the squares on the scale map is 10 feet. So what is that for a miniature? Well, that's about 60 millimeters or 60 millimeters square. And therefore, that's what I built this off of. So I'm making to scale Castle Ravenloft. So this is essentially each of these squares in terms of miniatures, 2 miniatures wide, or 10 feet.
Sam.
So a normal 5-foot person.
That was ghetto.
And you have the entrance hall for Ravenloft. There's the...
That's awesome.
Yep, there. So the first entry hall, and then, these. And then, as players move through the doors, it would be 1, 2... Nope, doing that wrong. It's a big hexagon, essentially, they step into. And that's the first room that they would walk into, and each of these represent on the map scale 10 feet. So it allows for a lot more freedom of movement while still being able to use the minis to create immersion. So, because I use miniatures not so much in my D&D games to make it hard and fast rules, but I use it to create further immersion in the same way I use music or I use props, like hand-pressed letters, that sort of thing. So this, and what Dave was so fascinated by, is a wonderful little product that I found in my modeling. I'm not going to give the company because they don't sponsor us, but this is what's called a textured rolling pin. Just Google that and you'll find it. It's what there's.
If, you can also find them, for the most part, at your friendly local game store.
Yes, you can.
And you can say your favorite brand.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can, but you have to mention they're not sponsoring us. This is just my opinion.
Right, fair enough. So
and don't
I'm not
suck them
gonna
off,
show it,
and
so
don't suck them off as you explain it.
No, yeah, fair. I've used several. These are from Green Stuff World. They have a lot of really cool products, and I've used a bunch of them. Again, they're not our sponsors, but I've used enough of them that I know the difference. So that's just bare Home Depot pink insulation foam that's in most households. And what I'm doing to it is, hopefully the camera can show it, is I'm texturing it.
Pretty well, actually.
And that's what this does. It's essentially an acrylic rolling pin that's really hard. Sorry, that probably peaked.
Solid
Did peak the mic. Good job.
I apologize
It's
for that.
solid acrylic.
And then what I do is make certain I'm doing this in the right pattern. So yeah, okay, so that direction. You take any foam. This will work with a crappy dollar store foam, or it will work with pink foam. And I just press the rolling pin into the otherwise flat pink insulation rigid foam and roll it. And what it's doing is, because it's textured and layered, it's actually making an imprint in the foam. And what that allows for is, instead of spending hours and hours and hours carving individual bricks into foam, which I used to do by hand, in the space of 10 seconds, it does that. So,
And you can go back and forth with it.
Yes, you can. Yeah, if you want it even deeper.
I'm going to start creating my character. The fans said they wanted Pathfinder as a control, because that is the one I know best.
Yep.
Now, before I begin and I start my clock, I will point out I've always done point by, but I've never done point by without the use of a computer of some kind. So this is going to be bad, guys. So I'm going to start
looking at the first chapter.
I will be
an awful lot.
Yeah. So I'm going to do point by. Okay. So we have to figure out. I'm going to list the character I'm going to make, so that way we'll see how close I get to my intention and how he permutates within the different rules.
Yeah,
I'm going to be making one of Sam's favorite characters that I've ever made, Jed the Fighter.
Jed.
He's great.
The entire idea is that he is a formerly trained gladiator as a youth. He was sold into it. He got out in his first fight, and upon his first meal as a free man, he had a whole chicken to himself, and he asked, how on earth can I supply myself with my own food? Then he realized that the key to that was becoming a farmer.
Okay.
So that has been his endgame goal since his conception, is to learn farming as he has traveled.
Wait a second. Conception. Oh, your conception of him.
Yeah.
Sorry. From his conception. Farmer sperm.
Yeah. From my conception of him. So he talks with a southern accent. Let me see if I can get his accent right. So blah. So how are y'all doing today? My name is Jed. My aim is to be a farmer. I don't want you to think that my accent makes me seem ignorant of some kind. I'll have you know that I have a very progressive attitude. It is of those who are trying to kill me and those who are not.
Thanks, white Obama.
That is a very progressive attitude.
It's loosely based on Jim Cornette. But yeah, that is Jed conceptually. He's a two-handed greatsword fighter. He's very pragmatic. He will have ranks in profession farmer or whatever knowledge skills would give me ranks in farming. That is my concept. I will take him through. I will see what comes up of that.
Which sounds lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
TBH.
Yeah.
So how long have you had this character idea?
I've actually built him in second ed because I had to do a game with Sam's dad.
Oh, okay.
Second edition D&D, not second edition Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You must specify, because
Yes.
there's now second edition a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had to... They're saying there's not going to be much of a build. Yes, but you'll be not quite there on the accent. Tipsler, I'm freaking white and Canadian. Well, I'm not white. I'm fucking Middle Eastern, Italian, and Canadian. God only knows what I am half the time. Anyway, I'm doing point by so we can see It's to get it as close, the 3 different experiences as close as possible, so that the way I can change the different. Skills from upgrade for a 5th ed monk. Cool. Anyway, so I'm starting my clock.
Are you doing this off the top? Oh no, you have the book.
Yeah, I have the book.
Right, yeah.
I'm not. Come on, man. Yeah, yeah. I would trust me building a character off the top of my head. Anyway, I'm starting my clock.
Yep.
We'll see how long this takes. So he will be a human
3,
fighter.
2, 2.5, 2 3/4.
Let's shut the fuck up. All right. So, okay. Obviously, he's gonna have a 17. Okay, I can't go over 18 in Pathfinder. I learned that the hard way at character creation.
I was gonna say, I don't think you can by the core point by rules. What's up? Oh, things well.
In theory, there's no hard rule about it, but a lot of the later built generators specifically say you can't.
Okay.
So if I put him at a 16, out the gate with strength, which is going to take me about 10 points, the +2 human modifier will put him up to an 18, and that's about the best I can do at that point. Because if I try to break, I think a 19, it gets wonky a little bit.
Well, there's not much point, to be entirely honest. I mean, point by that would cost you, I think, 4 points. No, 5 points.
No, it's 17 to get him up to 18.
So many points.
So it'll be an additional 7 points.
The difference, I meant. Yeah.
For an additional +1.
Okay.
Yeah. No, for an additional +2,
making a
which will be crossed down the line.
Yeah.
With other better stuff that'll do that. So now I'm gonna put his int at an 11. Oh no, I'm only doing 15-point build. Fuck me, that's gonna be rough.
I was gonna say the amount of points you're putting into it. He's a pretty epic farmer.
25. Yeah, it's 20. Fuck me, I'm so used to doing 25-point builds. All right, so
Jed is the most epic of farmers.
I could. Okay, then his con's got to be. A 14.
Hi, Alex.
Friend of yours?
No, Alexander Johnson.
It's Alexander Johnson. He's saying, "Hi, everybody."
Hi, Alexander.
He's one of our patrons, I think.
Okay.
Devin, do you find the foam will morph back into shape after? Typically not. Well, it can, but actually if you use a heat gun or a hair dryer and you really want to keep shape, that will encourage whatever shape it actually is to expand and hold its shape. But typically not, especially if you put any kind of a hard texture paint on it afterwards or an acrylic on it that will keep it from returning to its core shape.
Maybe a latex?
Yep. Usually some form of latex.
Okay, so
now the heat gun, would you use that on the roller or would you use that on the?
No, not on the roller. What I typically do is what I used to do for bricks is I would take a stainless steel ruler and I'd take a pencil and just create hatchwork. And so like draw, and then do it the other way and so forth. And 10 hours later, a 2x2 square is done. Yes. And then once it's scored, I would use the heat gun there to force the pieces to sort of separate apart a little further. So that's also another thing you can do if you just score it with, especially if you score it with a knife. So that's what that is.
Nice solid kniff.
Yeah, nice solid kniff. All right. Well, now the stream has started. I didn't get the newspaper, but
go get the newspaper.
Okay,
go up and take a time. Go up.
Yeah.
Just don't bump my knee. I've got things gluing together.
Oh yeah. Because
it's on the.
I'll mind you. I'll finish texturing my columns.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so I.
Oh yeah, you can do it that way too.
That's
awesome.
Made Jed a 16 in strength, 18 total with his racial modifier.
Why y'all got to see race?
I gave him +1 via putting his dex up to 12, and his wisdom and charisma both took a hit of 1. That gave me the 2 points needed to do that. His con's at a +2 with the 14. That should balance out at a 15-point build.
Yep.
I think.
Chat,
if I'm wrong, well, I'm shit at this anyway. I know that whenever I build a character, I use a generator to make my life easier. So, the +2's in there, so he's an 18, and that's done.
Except for personality. Personality is all straight insanity of Mike.
God, yeah. So he's medium speed, so he's got 30-foot base speed. That's in there really easily.
Yep.
Bonus feat, he gets 1 extra feat in additional to the starter feat. I'm going to write that down as a special ability. No, I'll put that in his feats. He's going to get 1 and 2 at the start. Character creation. I know he gets a 3rd one because of fighter, but we'll deal with that as we go. And he gets 1 additional skill rank at first level, 1 rank whenever they gain a level. So whatever skills I get, I'm going to mark that down.
Yeah. But no, to go back to your earlier question, what I like about this Waterdeep module, the Heist at Waterdeep module, is it has a very nice gradual build. You start off with a simple... The only thing that bugs me is that they started off in classic D&D RPG fashion. Where the heck do you think you start off?
The pub.
The pub. Specifically the yawning portal.
Oh,
so you start off
the yawning portal.
It's like
Christ.
your characters start in a tavern. God, I can change that. But so you start off in a tavern. Cool thing is though,
I would rather start off in like a drug cartel or something, just to show like the underside of Waterdeep.
the underside of Waterdeep, yeah.
Tell us more.
So
I don't know drug cartels in Waterdeep.
So essentially, what this book is the first half of it is the same, regardless of the later choices the DM makes.
Oh, for fuck's
but
sake.
it can be completely altered in terms of what you want to do with it by your choice of villain. There are 4 different villains that you can have. All the villains are way too powerful for the players to actually face and fight. They shouldn't, because one of them is Xanathar.
Oh my god, you're going up against him.
The favorite one that I find is 2 nobles who are evil for a particular reason. I won't spoil why, but they are bad. And noble husband and wife, and you choose the villain who you're going up against, who the party's going up against, and essentially they're trying to outwit and outsmart them, and trying to get away from them. And take this treasure.
Is it fucking Drizzed One-Eye Patch motherfucker?
Jarlaxle is one of the 4. Yeah,
okay.
so it's Xanathar, Jarlaxle, the new, as far as I know, I'm not terribly familiar with realm stuff. A noble family, and then Manshun, who's another villain. I know he's a wizard. Aside from that, I can't remember. What's right?
The Mandarin?
He kind of looks like the Mandarin. But so you have that, and the first half of the adventure is all basic, nice introductory. Like, this is really meant to, you're new to D&D. Let's make it really simple and straightforward with a cool kidnapping job, lead you through some neat stuff to get you familiar with the city. And what I really like is that as you're about to move into higher level stuff and a more of a sandbox style adventure for the rest of the game, you're given a small house. You're given a base of operations.
Nice.
So you can from that point, you can make it a city-based game where it's a lot more intrigue, or you can make it a dungeon delving game, because at the end of this, it leads into, because this only goes to level 5, it leads into level 6 through 20, the chunky, it's supposed to be like a 200-odd page supplement. That's going to take you from level 6 to level 20, which is Undermountain. So it gives you that base of operations. And what I want to do...
You get to level 20 in this book, or in
No,
the
you get to in the second one. The second one. Yeah. The second one is level 6 to level 20, and it's Waterdeep theme, and then the Mad Mage of Undermountain or something like that. And it takes you from level 6 to level 20. And therefore, this sort of creates an introduction to Waterdeep. It gives the characters a villain for them to fight later on when they get to level 20, and they could actually do something about the villains. So it introduces a long-term campaign villain, gives them a base of operations.
That's good.
It's a great little heist story that is very replayable, because depending on the villain you choose, the latter half of the adventure is completely different from any other time you run it if you use just a different villain. So also it gives me an opportunity, since they give a base of operations for did I tell you that I got the Mr. Matt Colville's Strongholds and Followers supplement?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so it gives me the ability to do that and run that for the players, which I'm very excited for.
I have that as well, and it's exciting, to say the least.
Dark Summer's Wind is here.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Dark Summer's Wind.
See, the girls going, oh crap, I lost track of the chat. Didn't know if anyone asked me anything.
No. As far as I can tell, nobody's really asked you any more questions.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to say for the hit dice, hit dice is a full D10 plus my con modifier at the start, so that's just 12 hit points.
Yep.
As a fighter.
Thank you, yes. Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Thank you, Tipsler. Yeah, it was like
Our fans are very simple.
Mad Mage, Undermount, Water. It's some combination there.
In no way am I arguing that these 2 books are bad. In fact, I would say they should have been some of the first books that came out.
I completely agree. Rather than Rise of the Tiamat and that sort of thing.
Especially with some of the things Tyler's been telling me about the problems with the 2 Tiamat books.
Oh, the Tiamat book is not the best,
online?
Personally.
Tyler's the guy who did the cameras.
Yeah, I know.
He's not online, but he's mentioned many a time how much he disliked it. My thing is,
okay,
I still don't like the Stream of Many Eyes, but we have said that ad nauseum. How
We've gone over that.
We have gone over that many times.
Actually, is that
Lord of the Dragon Queen is the worst intro module I've ever ran. Oh yeah?
You or who?
No, Shadowcrone. Shadowcrone, it's the worst intro module
Yeah.
he has ever ran. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I've heard nothing good about it at all.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly feel like if it wasn't for, one, Matt Mercer, and two, Curse of Strahd happening at about the same time, that's when their numbers started going up.
Yes.
Why there isn't a sequel to Curse of Strahd finally covering what was supposed to happen in Griffin Hill
Oh, yeah.
is beyond me.
There it is. All right. I keep slamming stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
really should stop, Devin.
I need to stop that. It's going to peak the mic. If it hasn't already. I'm going to go get that newspaper so I don't burn down your house.
Yes, please.
Wait, isn't that a way to start burning down?
Duh. 1. Size modifier, none. I have no natural armor. I have no deflection armor.
Hey, chat. Fire's involved.
Fire!
Upgraded that for...
Alright, I'm putting this back in the bag because I need...
What's...
Fucking
I'm not seeing what
tweezers.
YouTube is saying. What are they saying right now?
Fire.
Ravenloft 2 for 5e.
Oh, my leg's cold
The
now.
TMF
Devin!
story arc are, well, they're kind of meh. Ravenloft and OOTA are the best ones. Isn't newspaper flammable, though?
Yes.
Rusty gets me!
Glorious fire!
Oh, and I've heard Storm King's Thunder is actually really good.
I have that book.
How is it?
It looks good.
Yeah.
I'm not terribly... Well, there's one storm giant in there that's kind of lame looking the way they developed him, but otherwise, the fact that you go through the giants is actually really cool.
Okay, so...
I'll have to bring it by sometime. Sometime.
Ooh,
Alright.
Storm King, apparently, says Kabros.
I'm sorry?
Kabros says, ooh, Storm King. I'm really interested in that one.
Quick, get Dave a blankie.
No, thank you, Sam.
Got it.
Just cover him with my girlfriend.
Devin's coming back. He'll warm up my leg.
Exactly.
He was the space heater that was keeping it warm before.
Okay. I think that's it right now. I have to put in my skill ranks, of which I only have 3, which is nice.
So why am I being sworn at?
Oh, no.
Because you left and you let Dave be cold.
Oh, Dave.
You're keeping
Okay,
my leg
so
warm.
if I...
Snuggly Dave.
If I remember right, and anyone can correct me on this, Profession specifically says you roll to make money on this skill, not this is you using your skill to solve problems. If I'm
It
not
can be
mistaken.
both.
It can be both?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll use Profession Farmer and I'll put one of my first ranks in that.
Also, Fuzaki Takeda says, by the way, Big Mike Jim Cornette is more anger-filled Southern accent.
I know, but he's also the smartest Southern guy I've ever heard in my life. Which is true.
Oh,
No, it's just if you are at all a wrestling fan, you are not listening to Jim Cornette. You are doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
What else would be good?
warm Devin. He's back and keeping my leg warm.
I don't have fucking.
Shinyago. All right. There. Now.
What else should I
Let that
have?
heat up. Let
Survival.
that glue gun heat up.
Oh, Sam, does the event thing there, the event ticker, does that go top down? New stuff at the top?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Because Shadowcrone is the one that that's the thing that happened
23
today.
minutes ago
8 days ago we
I
had
see.
donations.
I see.
So by the way, if you guys feel like you have the need to throw money at us to keep doing things, we have
Anything.
links. We have links underneath both in YouTube and on Twitch. It's to Streamlabs OBS or Streamlabs, which will be streamlabs.com/D20 Live. There we go. I have it.
There you go. Got it.
So yeah, there on Twitter and on Twitch it's a picture of one of those things I can't even remember anymore, and on and on YouTube it's just a link. So
Yeah. Could you pass me the water, not the water that you'll be drinking?
not my water, your
The
water.
water that I will be accidentally drinking because I'm a very typical crafter
You just like to
who accidentally.
stick it in
I
your
have
mouth.
seen you put your brush in your mouth way too many times.
I
think
have
he does that on purpose.
Okay, first off, tea. It's a very normal thing when you paint often enough that your water pot ends up getting the color of this. Especially if you made the very foolish choice of putting both in very similar cups.
Oh yeah,
Because like you drink your paint water, like
as an artist, yeah,
Yeah.
that happens a lot.
Oopsies.
All right, now the student.
Answer
It
your
does not help that
question.
Wizards of
I'm
the Coast
here.
did not have time to establish themselves with the event. Yeah. Yeah, it's I haven't actually read the '90s ones yet, Tipsler. Thank you again for sending the links for those. I have them. I have the PDFs for them. I'll eventually get the hard copies, but I haven't read the '90s one yet. I've read the '70s and '80s. Yes, the '70s and '80s.
I have all of them. He sent them to us, so if you want them, just let me
know. Cool.
Nice.
70s
Byron,
and 80s what?
Designer and Dragons. It's
I see.
Yeah.
It's the history book of. I got really depressed with all the '70s, and I stopped reading after what happened to the guys who made Traveler. I can't remember their name. Flying Buffalo.
Yes. Yeah.
So Sam said I wasn't allowed to read them anymore.
I do want to read about the Satanic Panic.
That's in the '70s, so
okay. It's in the first book. It's honestly, it's not as bad as it was made out to be.
Oh, its coverage was the worst part of it.
Oh yeah, it did great things for their sales, and the problem was
absolutely.
The problem was right after that, Lorraine Williams joined in. Apparently, hated must be her name.
Okay.
It's true.
Devin, that happened to me a lot when I was painting. No, just Shadow Crone sharing my pain that whenever he was painting Warhammer 40K, but for me it was fantasy. He would swallow his own paint. And or drink his own paint. That happens far more than any hobbyist would ever willingly admit to.
There we go.
Byron says,
Google.
go with Brother Love,
Allows me to track
aka
flights.
Bruce Pritchard.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
No, this is perfect.
What?
Sorry?
Byron says, go with Paul...
Brother Love,
aka Bruce Pritchard.
Ah, yeah.
And then Fuzaki Takeda says, go full Paul Bearer.
No.
Paul Bearer, I love him so much. And this is when I find out that he's like a crazy racist or something.
Oh no, he's actually pretty decent. He was part
thank goodness.
As far as I can tell, he was part of Taker's crew.
Yes, yeah. He was his hype man.
He was his hype man, but he was also. Bear had a habit of nicknaming everyone. You would think a pudgy man who looked like that wouldn't be able to call people silly nicknames, but he liked to call Taker Wendy.
Wendy?
Because Taker was a natural redhead.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's not a commonly known thing. It's
well,
also
yeah,
not commonly...
he's been greasy black forever.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't care even if Taker was a redhead. I'm not gonna say gingers don't have no soul. I'd be like, oh, look at that, he took my soul.
Yes.
How did he do that?
It's Taker.
Yeah.
Dark Summer's Wind is asking, how is the new Pathfinder?
We're gonna find out today.
I've ran it. I really like it. But I believe this is my first time Mike's making a character in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I feel that there are some flaws in some of the characters that transition from first to second edition. But overall, I feel it's a cleaner system. It's a better system, but a less versatile one. But I think Mike and I have talked about this before. I think that was their intention.
Yeah, but we will discuss that when we're done doing all.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, but I personally really like it. Part of the reason I'm doing this is eventually in the playtest I will need castle stuff. So the playtest group that I'm doing the playtest with, or that I'm GMing them with, is going to be using this stuff. So.
Is Furious Focus not in the core book? Is Furious Focus not in the core book? The feed?
Yay! The first of many tiles. Thus it continues, and we'll go on for many.
Furious Focus is not in the core book. It's not.
We have to no. Technically.
Oh my god! Why not?
No problem, Shadow Crown. Thank you for dropping by for as long as you did. It was
and
good
thank you for
chatting.
hosting us.
Yes, and thank you for hosting us.
Have a good afternoon.
Have a good afternoon.
Good night, or whatever.
Yeah, wherever you are.
Right. So Cabros says, so basically Pathfinder 2nd edition is to Pathfinder 1st edition what D&D 5th edition is to D&D 3.5.
Yes, but there is a lot more familiar. If a Pathfinder First Ed player looks at Pathfinder 2nd edition, they're not going to feel alienated. They're not going to feel like, whoa, I'm way out in left field here. 5th edition was a big change from 3rd edition, very consciously. Whereas Pathfinder 2nd edition, you still have many of the similar mechanics. It's still D20 based. Yes, they have proficiency dice or a proficiency score, but they have feats, and it's all whereas 5th edition went, we're not going to let you pick feats at particular levels. Whenever you feel like it's you must sacrifice your ability score in order to get a feat. So whereas 2nd edition Pathfinder is you have feats at particular levels, but there's just a lot more of them now. So it's less jarring. I found I was a lot more in a comfortable space reading 2nd edition Pathfinder than I was reading 5th edition D&D many years ago. I couldn't figure out 5th edition D&D years ago. It was like, this is very, very different. What is this proficiency thing? Where are my skill abilities? Where are my magic items? Because you don't really have them. They're very different, especially building my first, or running my first D&D 5th edition game. That was a big jarring difference.
Then, of course, you drop the Dungeon Master's guys. There's all my magic
There's my magic items. There's my trap rules. Which, I mean, sure, it's the DM guide, so you should be in there. But
all the
there's my
stuff.
treasure.
Yeah.
There's how people gain experience.
That's not in the core book?
It's basically you will gain experience based on what the DM tells you will get, and here's how you level up. But it's the core book. In other words, and what I'm saying by that is the player's guide doesn't tell you how to calculate experience points of a module, right, or of an encounter. That's all in the Dungeon Master's Guide, which makes a lot of sense. It does, but it was very jarring. What's this? Or here, yes, or in the DM screen. Don't get paint on that there.
Oh, I'm sorry, I handed it.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing. I remember the very first 5th edition game I ran. I was trying to figure out how to properly balance an encounter, which is not easy at first, especially coming from 3rd edition, because you make a lot of assumptions. But treasure was also just as bad, though slightly easier because they still have the tables. But trying to create a balanced encounter in 5th edition, when I'm used to over a decade of 3rd edition, it was really odd. Very difficult to do at first.
It's not in here.
Mostly because 4E was in the way from 3. Yeah, but I didn't play a lot of 4E, to be entirely honest. I think I only played like 4, maybe 5 games. I never ran a 4E module at all.
Speaking of the DMG.
Yep. Yes, that's a beautiful book. I really like that book.
But yeah, D&D 5th Ed really does encourage you to get the core 3 books.
Yes.
And especially if you're a GM.
And admittedly, if you're a player, and again, this is all about D&D 5th Ed was making things friendly to new players and trying to encourage new players. Most of the stuff the DM deals with, it doesn't matter to players. Nor should it matter to players.
And so thus, it's all in this big old book.
Yeah, it makes therefore it makes the player's handbook smaller
succinct.
than the DM. Succinct and smaller than the DMG. So it's easier for new players to get into it.
Robe of the Archmagi.
I don't know what that one does. I've heard of it, but I know what it did in 3rd. But
no, it's pretty though. Here we go.
How so, Tipsiller? How was Next a nightmare compared to 5th Ed? Was Next
that was their playtest?
That was their playtest version. Okay, all right. So Tipsiller D&D Next was much worse than the final product.
I can believe that.
Yeah, 2 words: proficiency dice. That's actually also in the DMG. It's the.
Oh.
So it was. So you found? Do you find Tipsiller that proficiency score is easier to work with as a DM than proficiency dice, where it's disparate for levels and classes? Because I think the DM guide allows you to do that. Something like, depending on the class, you can get different proficiency dice for a particular class, or maybe it's level. I've never used the system. I need to read it because I'll probably be using it for Azeroth. But
all right, Devin. Here's the Robe of the Archmagi gives you these benefits. If you aren't wearing armor, your base armor class is 15 plus your dex, no limit.
Okay.
You have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
Okay.
And your spell save DC and spell attack bonus each increase by +2.
Jeez.
Yeah, Robe of the Archmagi is pretty awesome.
Increase by plus. That's giving you just 2 levels. Because wait, no, hold on. It's 8 plus proficiency. That's giving you an entire +2.
easy,
And 5th edition is
A level.
A level. No, it's 4 levels because you only go up because it's proficiency dice plus spell level. So it's either 2 spell levels,
and then it's half your level.
Yeah, and then it's half your level. So it's basically that's basically making your spells as if you were 2 levels more powerful on the mage, or as if you were 4 levels higher than you actually are in terms of a character. Because it's increasing your proficiency score or your spell levels. That's crazy. That's powerful.
Now I'm gonna go find out what this costs.
K-Bros is saying so. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is closer to 3.5 or 5.
Pathfinder 2nd Edition is closer to I would say 5 in terms of its core mechanics. You have proficiency scores, and you don't have skill points really. Your Pathfinder 2nd Edition skills are you don't have ranks. Essentially, you do, but you don't. It's not what you're familiar with. You don't have a numerical value for the rank. You have a rank, so you're either untrained, trained, expert, or legendary.
You're gonna have to explain that all again to me. You know that, right?
When it comes up, yeah.
When it comes up, yep. And therefore, it's similar to 5th edition in that regard because you're either training something or you're not. And as you go up levels in 5th edition, your proficiency goes up. Whereas this does, so it's like 5th edition in that regard because your core mechanic is based off of proficiency and you determine how skilled you are in something for a particular skill, and that gives you a proficiency score. But on the flip side, it's more like Pathfinder 1st edition in terms of the number of feats that you get, because you get general feats, background feats, ancestry feats, which is racial feats in 2nd edition, class feats, which are essentially your class features but named differently, and one other one that I'm blanking on. But I would say it's actually a combination of both. I'm not going to say that it's the best of both worlds quite yet because I haven't played enough with it yet. And
You've heard me weigh in.
it's just that I find it's a very nice balance of both, and it still feels like Pathfinder while also being a lot more new player friendly. It's more complex than 5th edition, and as a DM, thank God it is much better written than 5th edition in terms of its rules. I know how if one of my players in Pathfinder 2nd edition wants a mount, I know how to give them a mount. They know how to call it, they know how to train it, there are rules for that. They know how to they know how to buy a mount. That's not in 5th edition. How you buy a mount, there's a price, but it's not the same as a mount or companion. And they have prices for barding and that sort of thing. 5th edition, it's one paragraph. And it's not about how you train, it's not about how you do tricks. A lot of 5th edition puts the onus on the GM to make their own rules up and to be creative and to make it their sandbox. If you have a lot of experience being a GM, that's great. If you don't, that makes it really hard. I've had to make up a lot of rules for my Curse of Strahd game. On the fly.
Jack of Many Names is here.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hello.
He says, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, how easy is it to buy an elephant?
If there's a price for it, and if the GM says that the town has access to it, then it is. Since Pathfinder 2nd Edition is based on Galarian, if you're in the southern continent, they're easy to find. If you're in the northern continent, not so much. But if there's a price for it, there are rules for it.
Okay. Question: are we ruling that I have to do do the inventory for all the minutia?
That's up to you.
You know what? Let's be authentic. I will do all the minutia.
Yeah, I was gonna say like do a base because 5th edition does say you have this much to spend, and Pathfinder 2nd says that you have that much to spend. So I would do it as if it's a new character beginning to end.
Now, what if you're going with the stuff granted to you from your class? Or sorry, when you're selecting either 2 short swords or a longbow and 20 arrows.
Yeah.
Now, do you get that plus the money?
You actually don't get any weapons like 5th edition. You get that in a quick build.
Yeah.
But there's less money. Like the stuff that you get in both systems is relatively similar in the end.
Oh, okay. So like if you're using the background to get you your money, and then you use your class to get your starting equipment versus buying.
Buying, yeah.
And there is a table that has starting wealth.
Yeah, the second edition is basically you start with the same set wealth. It's different than first edition in that regard. I think Pathfinder first edition, depending on your class, you had more or less money to spend at start.
Yeah, it's money.
Whereas Pathfinder second edition, you start with 150 silver pieces. Yes, silver, because they've redone the economy that gold is a lot more valuable. So you actually are not going to find gold pieces as much. You're going to find silver pieces more often, and that's what all the prices are based off of, is silver pieces.
How the fuck is there not a notebook in here?
A notebook? What?
It's his notebook for all of his farming instructions.
Ah, I see.
Like, I could do individual reams of paper. Let's just do that. Let's say 100-page notebook at 4 silver pieces is 40 gold pieces. Fuck that! 40. 10 pages. 10-page notebook.
For all of his farming techniques?
Yeah, well, it's papers, 4 silver... Yeah, so it'll be 4.
So
I was at a frustrating time getting a season 3 from the... okay, getting S3 from the next stats to move... okay, alright. So it's harder to actually get to make a 3rd edition character in next than it was in 5th. More in line with 5e. Interesting. Huh.
K-Bros is saying, thanks so much for the super detailed info, Devin. I'm familiar with D&D 3.5 and a little bit of 5e, but not at all at Pathfinder. So which version would you recommend to get into Pathfinder, 1st or 2nd?
Sorry, Sid.
What's better to start to you, 1st or 2nd?
With Pathfinder?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, is this as a starting player?
Yeah.
Are you more experienced?
Are you a starting player, or is the person you're talking about a starting player?
They are very familiar with 3.5 and 5th edition with Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, then if you're starting in Pathfinder, I would start with 2nd edition, mainly because it allows you the flexibility of if you're experienced with it, you can roll and you can still get all your stats rolled that way. But if you include a new person in your game, Pathfinder 2nd edition essentially lets you pick what stats you're going to get bonuses in, and it makes it very simple. You're not needing to choose as much between a 13 and a 14 in an ability skill. You're basically all starting at 10, and you're saying how many of a particular bonus you're going to use to that stat. Mike, we'll get more to that when Mike starts making it. Sorry, dude.
No,
but I made my cleric from what's our horror game called? Crimson Throne is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Carrion Crown.
Carrying Crown, yeah.
So I made my cleric for Carrion Crown, and I knew clerics needed a high wisdom. So instead of needing to worry about how many points I'm going to put into it or rolling a high wisdom and allocating it, I knew that from my race of human and my class of cleric, I was going to get a certain number of what are called boosts, which is +2 to an ability score. Every time you use a boost. Every time you use a boost. So I thought, all right, I need a high wisdom. How many pluses do I want? Do I want +1, +2, or +3? And essentially every boost you give yourself, you're effectively giving yourself a +1, because an additional +1, because you're going from 10 to 12, 12 to 14, or 14 to 16 with every boost. So it's very, very fast.
Jesus Christ.
In my
I'm
mind.
not done.
And that's easier for a new player to understand. You just tell them, for every boost you put into this score, you're getting better at that score. So it's easier to understand than saying, well, if you put in a stat that is odd numbered, it's not as good as if you put in a stat that's even numbered.
Because you get a whole bonus.
Because you get a whole bonus for it. It makes a lot more sense to a new player. But if you're familiar with D&D 3.5, you'll immediately understand it. It's easy to understand in that regard. And my paint's dry. No.
And I'm done. The first iteration of Jed for Pathfinder 1st edition, done in 32 minutes 43 seconds, microseconds. He currently wields a greatsword. I have the power attack rules. His 3 feats were power attack, cleave, and weapon focus +1, because Furious Focus isn't in the core book, and I'm just doing core book.
What's so great about it?
How about you shut up?
See, I never actually did D&D Next Titular, so I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Okay, all right.
I thought D&D Next was just 5e.
So also I had a frustrating time getting S3 from next stats to more in line with okay. Okay, so I'm still trying to understand that then, because I didn't play D&D Next. That was module code. Oh, jeez. You mean you had trouble
5e?
getting the S3 module from the next stats to more in line with it with 5e. Okay, all right. Barrier peaks. Good module. I like that one. Yay, barrier peaks.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you, Mike?
Yeah, now I can talk. 32 minutes, 43 seconds. Unfortunately, because of the negatives to his wisdom and charisma, all the skills that I wanted to put his points in just left him at a 3 flat, which will, of course, go up over time because he's taken the -1 to those skills.
Yep.
Just due to his innate stats. Oh, fuck, I forgot to write down a 4 and -1. No, 1 and -1. But yeah, for the most part, he will be hitting with a +6 to hit. He crits on a 19 to 20. He does 2d6 plus 4 out the gate. It alternates for power attack, and I also had enough money left to give him a short bow and a whole bunch of rando shit.
Rando shit.
Including chalk, torches, all that stuff. But Jed, his Pathfinder first edition is done.
And the chat has said, "Long live Jed!
Long live Jed!
Long may Jed! May Jed be an
Chat?
eyesore and name of in the eyes of other Jeds."
Well, his true name is Jeddah Trueblade, but you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just he just calls himself Jed because he doesn't know his real name. That's something for the GM to reveal later.
Whichever GM decides to have
Jed in there.
Whichever GM decides to tolerate.
Okay, I want to see what the YouTube chat is saying because I can't see it from over there.
That's fine. You can take over.
Okay, I will for a couple of minutes, and then I will start in the next edition that the chat decides.
Famous Jed. So, Mike, what other famous Jeds are there?
Well, he's going to be the first. Because I only built him for one game in 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
So he was something of just this weird kind of creation that I spontaneously made.
Okay.
Do you have like a square of newspaper? Just so I can put it on my
Yes. As soon as I finish
Yeah, no worries. Take your
working on this, I'm trying to get the hot glue gun to
All right.
Hot and glue.
hot and glue. Yep. There, perfect. Nothing on the carpet. Done and done.
Yay! So these
In
hard
Pathfinder,
hats
can you make if you make a specialist mage, can you still cast spells not in your specialist school? I think so, because he's making an evoker wizard. All right, if you're not talking about an archetype, Jack of many names, yeah, you can always cast outside of your thing as long as it doesn't oppose. It's not one of your two opposite schools. I don't know about the archetype for that. So yeah, chat, you decide what I am building next.
or what system?
What
My
system I'm
first
building next, and I
column.
will do that version of Jet.
My first signature!
Yay!
Yay!
Oh,
All right, so Dave, you said you needed a square of newspaper?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Just enough so that I don't glue this to my pants.
wow, god damn, YouTube chat's all that.
Ooh. I
Yeah,
like
smart
the
cooking. All right, so Rusty says 5th edition.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that's Rusty anyway.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well,
Rusty.
since you have done that once before, that shouldn't be too much of an issue for you.
So, a common complaint I hear about Pathfinder is that in no time, characters become way too overpowered. Do you have experience with this, and how do you keep that in check? Pathfinder builds, if you're doing an original game, it's harder to get around, because if you're doing a low-powered game, you basically have to nerf the... Because Pathfinder has a lower XP curve, if I'm not mistaken. Option.
For 1st edition versus 2nd edition?
Yeah,
or?
for 1st edition, I know there's a lower XP cost.
Yeah.
To keep that, so you can keep a low-powered game.
Yeah.
But there is a plethora of enemies across the 6 bestiaries and the DMG and all of the adventure paths
Yeah.
to give you enough to keep you fighting stuff at par well up to level 20.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would say.
yeah. It becomes an exercise.
Sarah Death wants me to build Dragon Sword.
Watch out, I have a knife.
And really, it becomes an exercise in the GM. Just how do you making the encounters interesting, right? Because it's in the
sketchy.
you have
Let's fight! Gonna fight for your
The
life.
thing is, though, and Jordan
Here,
pointed this
put the
out
blade away. Knife fight.
really early on, basically a level 7 Pathfinder character is basically an established hero at that point. So you could have your character start doing things like being the head of a nation. You could start...
Yep.
It doesn't have to be that upwards climb of the next monster or the next adventure. You could start actually having land and cities. And I've made this argument for years.
Yeah.
In
Land
Kingmaker, we were ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang it. It's cutting off. one of my computer
Yeah,
notifications.
the 5th edition actually did a great job of describing that for a new player. Where they say, okay, you have the different tiers of play, and once you hit 5th level, it becomes like Pathfinder 7th level, where you are an established hero, and it's like you are local heroes, and you can start building a base of operations and a kingdom and that sort of thing.
Like, out of the box, Pathfinder doesn't really indicate that, but Ultimate Campaign, from the get-go, says, yeah, you can just do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I like.
Yep.
Yes, women will throw themselves at you and throw the babies that you had with them at you.
You better catch those babies.
Or else you quickly become the town, villain.
Yeah.
He throws babies on the ground. She threw
And,
a baby at me. I was looking the other way.
And Tipsler, no, I haven't. I'm in fact, I have a PDF of Into the Borderlands, but I've never actually played it. It's one of the most classic ones. I just haven't had the opportunity to yet.
Those of you wondering, he's talking about OAR1 Into the Borderlands.
Into the Borderlands.
Oh, is that the one they reprinted for 5th Ed?
Maybe? I'm not sure. I think that's Pelendar Mines, which is an old module, I believe.
I have that for that came from this in the starter sets.
Yes, it did.
But Into the Borderlands, I think they rejiggered for 5th Ed.
Really?
Yeah, or
I will have to take a look for that.
In the original, color scheme, and it other than a few things that say for 5th Ed, it looks like the original mod.
Nice. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, you should take a look for it.
Into is B1 and B2, yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of good classic stuff. The original modules are such a great thing to just introduce players with or put in random dungeons, because the older the module is, the more
venerated.
Yeah, the more venerated, and the more recent players, like the people who have only been playing for the last 5 or so years, don't know them.
Oh,
so you can put it in and reuse it again and again and again with different players, and they won't even realize that you haven't made anything up. It's a module.
Okay, so
like I'm doing for Ravenloft.
Yeah, exactly. Asking, so, question for each of you: which RPGs have you all run? Specifically, run, not played.
Give us half a moment to think.
All right, I'm gonna go down my list. Everything you've seen on D20 Live. Just go to that list.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, Regime Diabolique.
Exalted.
No, I've never run an Exalted game.
Exalted.
Was it Scion?
Yeah, no. Yeah. And, no, because, crap. Everything I've run, and I'm trying to think of what I haven't. I've run for others that I've not, and I think it's only Regime's the only game
that you haven't run for both D20 Live and
for friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've run Spirit, I've run Firefly, I've run fucking everything. Yeah. Except Fifth. I did run Star Wars.
Okay.
I've specifically run just basically, okay, 2nd edition D&D, 3rd edition D&D.
Oh, first edition.
The 1st edition Pathfinder and Spirit. I believe those are the only ones I've made. Those are really the only ones I've actually run. I've played in far more games than I've run them. And then on top of that, I did, online RP stuff, which is not really. It's not a specific system of any kind.
It's just RP.
Yeah, it's just.
It's the MUDs
narrative.
Yep.
Not even a MUD. It was just a narrative.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is a cool concept.
I
actually have an invitation to join up with one from Rico.
Oh, cool.
He's going to run a Sorry?
A MUD or a narrative forum-based one?
Play by post.
Oh, play by post. Cool. Nice.
I forget what system.
Why am I doing this?
But he's pretty much going to do all the legwork on the back end for rolls and stuff, and he's just going to describe, hey, I'm going to try and cut this goblin's head off.
Nice. Very cool.
And I would like to seduce the Duchess.
Yep.
I think Devin's going to win.
Dave?
Oh, for systems I've run?
Yeah.
So far, things that I've run, I'm sorry. I haven't run anything on D20 Live yet. But things that I have run are I've run Pathfinder, I've run 5th Ed for the group. Mike was out that week.
Awesome.
And I think you were at a con.
No, I was helping. I was helping
were-
Tom White stream.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Other than that, yeah, I think that's about it.
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Oh yeah, I've run Star Wars for you guys.
Because we had, remember it was Edward.
Yeah,
And Coco.
Edward and Coco.
I really wish I was part of that game. I remember hearing so many fun things about that.
You were in that game. You
Was
played
I in Star
Coco
Wars?
one session.
Yeah.
You tried to be Coco masculine, which didn't really work.
Oh, yes, right. Yeah.
He was
You're
our
right. Yeah,
he was
yeah.
our Lambda class shuttle's barista.
Yes.
There's Lieutenant Hawkins. No. And Coco.
I loved Coco.
He tried to become Coco. He tried to make this masculine version of Coco because Devin does not know how to be effeminate at all.
And,
Well,
yeah, so it's...
You Coco had a mental break and
Coco had a mental break, yeah.
tried to assert himself, and then the next session he
Yes.
He reverted.
Yes, I remember. I remember now. Yeah.
Oh boy. Here's a question. What are your favorite mythologies and favorite story characters and monsters from them? But Devin, you gotta list your systems first. And I will start in 5th soon.
AD&D, AD&D, I won't, like, they're different settings, but AD&D, so that one, D&D 3 and 3.5, those aren't separate. D&D 5th, Pathfinder 1st, Pathfinder 2nd, Exalted, Vampire, Werewolf, probably all the same in that regard. Call of Cthulhu,
Wait,
and that's-
You played a call.
yeah, Regime 2nd edition, Fate Core, Star Wars, and then a bunch of independent stuff that I'm blanking on. Dread, I've also and 10 Candles, which is a recent one.
I'm jealous of you running Dread.
Dread is awesome. Yeah, so Dread, 10 Candles, Mutants and Masterminds. What is there? Zombie. Kobolds Ate My Babies. And there's a zombie one that I'm blank. What's that? Right?
We won that one too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
You did.
it was fun.
Yeah, that's and any other chaos. Pendragon. Jesus. Legend of the Five Rings. Pendragon. Yep. Malifaux. That's the most recent one.
Oh, I forgot the games I ran in Terrible Warriors because I ran a Judge Dredd game
Yes, you did.
and I ran
You ran
ran Mutants and
Judge
Masterminds for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you didn't run
Fudge.
Dread
No, I did not.
because you didn't have a Jenga board.
Dread
that.
is awesome.
Oh, I love
All right,
the use of
it's
that.
time. Mike has done his break. He must do now the system that I've probably mocked and belittled the most. 5th Ed.
Yeah.
And while he's doing that, let's talk about our pantheons
Yeah.
Yeah.
All favorite myths.
or favorite myths.
Okay.
I am very much a. I like the Norse mythology, but I'm also very versed in Egyptian and a little bit of Greek. I'm not
A tiny bit of Greek.
a tiny bit of Greek.
Yep.
But yeah, I like the Norse mythology a lot. I'm gonna blame my dad on that just because of the fact that, the German is very strong in this one. So
Yes. Love it. I have been Greek mythology for most of my life. That was the first one that I was exposed to. Norse mythology is a very recent thing. I haven't known. It's only been the last 3 or 4 years that I've really gotten to know it. So I would say Greek, and more recently it's not really mythology. It's a collection of anything Eastern European. So your Grimm fairy tales and the stuff that Witcher is based off of. That it's not really a mythology per se. It's a collection of very creepy short stories and wives' tales and all that sort of stuff. But any one pantheon, it would probably be Greek mythology, because that's where I started.
Oh yeah, it is race and class first.
And despite my love for L5R, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about Japanese or Chinese mythology. I know a lot about the L5R variants and that.
I, on the other hand, am a major weeb.
A weeb. A weeb.
I do very much enjoy the Japanese mythologies, along with what do you got? I ever since fucking Moana, I read into some of the Polynesian
cool.
mythologies, which are actually pretty cool.
That was
Although
neat.
Moana went off book because it was a Disney film.
Of course.
Also, having a pig brother would be kind of weird.
Who, what?
Moana's pet pig was actually supposed to be his brother.
Oh.
Or her
I
brother.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
And the chicken was too dumb to live, but it lived anyway. Despite itself. It's like there's something wrong with that chicken. The Norse mythology is a favorite of mine as well.
Yeah.
I just like how gritty and real the gods were.
Yeah.
Compared to like, I like multi-theistic pantheons, in that the gods take on like personality traits of people. Like they could be very jealous and petty, and in that way they kind of feel more real.
Yeah, they don't so much rule over ideas, but are individuals in and of themselves that teach lessons to humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, North American indigenous. What do you call them? Mythology.
Yeah.
Like I really like the story of how Raven tricked. What was it?
Coyote?
No, how Raven tricked. Which other bird was it? To steal the sun, or steal fire from the sun.
I'm not
And
familiar.
that burned off his beak.
Oh, okay.
He had I think it was hawk.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's the Wendigo.
Oh,
Skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers. Yeah. Skinwalkers make fantastic monsters of the week and general villains. I want to make a Skinwalker long-term villain for like for an urban-based game. I think a Skinwalker would make a fantastic villain.
Like I might be able, 5e has Skinwalkers.
Yep,
Pathfinder has Skinwalkers. Yeah. And I'm gonna look through Yorgi's bestiary here and see if these guys have Skinwalkers.
Yorgi's beast.
16.
So yeah, that's those are mine.
Nice. Mikey.
I'm not having a hard time. What are you talking about?
This isn't hard for me.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Christ almighty. This is the most badly laid out book I've ever fucking seen.
That I 100% agree
Like,
with.
there's so many better ways to do this.
It is bad.
Oh, Christ. Dave, thank you. Thank you for fucking marking your book. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Because I don't know if they've been watching. Go back and rewind if you want to. But all I've been hearing back here is me going, what the fucking... Okay, they tell you to pick race and...
Class.
Race and fucking class before your point build. I'm like, why? In the name of sanity, why?
Because that way you know what to actually put your points into. That makes total sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, because the things at the heart of the character, and you build them that way. I know what I said. What the fuck am I doing? Age is alignment, doesn't matter. Size doesn't fucking matter. Speed, 30. Where do I put my fucking speed on this sheet? I hate this character sheet.
Look at him prancing about with his head full of eyeballs.
Mike is very much into the Greek mythology.
Thank you.
I know. Hang on. I can speak for myself. The longest
currently.
time. The longest time.
Stop your timer.
Christ.
Pause your timer.
Yeah, pause your timer so you can talk.
It took me 5 minutes just to get point build done. For the longest time, I was a huge fan purely of Greek mythology, and then I started taking in more Norse mythology, and when I started getting into Scion, I started studying everything. I'm not very good on my voodoo or my Aztec mythology. I know a lot about Chinese mythology thanks because of the fact that I just literally read the abridged version of Journey to the West as written by the original translator. Do not read that version.
It's dry as all fuck.
It is dry as balls. Unfortunately, it's also the thing that the original translator is most famous for. If people want to know that story, I will tell that story.
Wait a minute, you don't moisturize your balls?
Wow.
Aside.
Mike just went Scottish just then.
Mike just went Scottish. Interesting.
But I have a good knowledge of Japanese mythology, not the greatest. I've most recently started getting into Chinese mythology because I'm watching, not Bardic Productions, fucking hell, Overly Sarcastic Productions retelling of Journey to the West, and is so much better told by them. I have Anthony CU's reader version of Journey to the West that I want to reread because the original version was translated by Jesuit monks who were trying to say, hey, listen, these Asian guys are not as different as we are. And they were trying to make it sound like the Bible.
Oh, interesting.
Which doesn't work for Journey of the West in any way. And you can tell this was a guy who was just trying to translate as best he could.
Right.
But
the Bible.
It's unfortunately the thing he's the most famous for. But the thing he was doing at the time was he was saying to all of the monks coming in, saying, no, you can't wipe out their culture.
Right.
Here's a book about 3 different religious backgrounds coexisting.
Huh.
Don't do this. Do not do this.
And they did it anyway.
And they did it anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
And that's the original translator for Journey to the West?
Yeah, in the
cool.
1900s, I think.
Oh, very
How
cool.
dare they be different from us?
Yeah, and he was very open-minded about it. There are better translations out now if you were so curious, but yeah. Oh yeah, and Extra Credits is also doing Mythology as well, but I like Overly Sarcastic because she's just so salty about it. Now I go back to reading this fucking terrible book. Yeah,
So, wait, hold on. Why do you feel you need your ability scores before you... Because, alright, let's think about this. You roll your ability scores at the start of a character.
Well, I'm doing
you write them all
point-
down.
yeah.
It's
Well,
fine.
actually, for those who are curious, I am doing the determined ability scores via just the following 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was easier.
Yeah.
Rather than point by.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that this has been my thing since I first started,
Yeah.
is players should decide what their character is before the system imposes the restrictions upon them.
Yeah, so you are deciding conceptually what you are going to be in terms of race and class, and all the book is telling you to do is note down what the modifications are for your ability scores. So you know when you're rolling or when you're picking what your final score is going to be. Whereas instead, the experience I sometimes had was I'd roll my ability scores, I'd put them in slots, and then I would apply my race and say, oh, my strength is now lower than I intended it to be. Whereas if I know going into it, I can put the scores accordingly.
That only really applies for the older systems where they wouldn't tell you. You weren't allowed to assign your rolls to where you want it. Nowadays, everyone pretty much says, roll what you get, those are your 6.
Yeah.
And any decent DM will tell you,
Put them where you like.
Put them where you want.
Put them where you want. So I would roll them, you'd put them aside, and then you'd have to look to your race and class.
Well, I don't believe in... Okay,
and
well,
then
first of all,
yeah.
we're having 2 different arguments here, because now you're talking about rolling. Rolling is very different from point build.
True. I feel you should know where your modifications are going to end up, and what skills from the class are going to be, or what ability are going to be important. If you're a new person to D&D, you should know that strength is important before you assign it to strength.
I get
Right?
that.
So
But
that's
my thinking is a player's first choice should be their choice. Like, because, okay, this is a problem I've had with classes since classes, is that there is a wrong way to build a class.
Okay.
One thing I'm very happy for with Pathfinder First is there is no wrong way to build a class. There's an archetype for it to build it the way you want it to.
Yeah, but that's 5 years on or 10 years on.
I know.
But yes,
that's the I was going to make that is the caveat to that.
Yes.
Fifth tries to do that too with I believe at level 3 there's that cross-classing thing they've got.
You can do cross-class, and you can do
Xanathar's book, and
yeah,
which
there's
has
all that
archetypes.
stuff that's out now. So there's equivalents for both.
Yep.
But my biggest belief has always been a player should kind of know. It's just how my head's wired, I guess.
Right.
I like the idea of saying where my points are going first.
Okay. All right.
Because here's the thing. I keep hearing this. It's new players. Someone isn't a new player very long.
No, they're not. Yeah.
It's one of the things why I think it's one of the reasons why I was so hard on 5th for the longest time, because it was clearly a new player system.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, someone's not a new player forever. You are talking about a window of maybe 1 to 5 years.
Yeah.
What is that player going to be like 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road?
And what are they going to want from the system?
From at that point, right?
Yeah.
And that has always been kind of my problem with that new player focus, especially with other systems that have come out now. Not necessarily 5th, because I'm sure there's a good way to write this book better. That's a little more cohesive.
Yeah.
No offense, Dave. I know you're a bigger fan about this than I am. But, you know.
different play styles.
Yeah. Well, it's not even the playstyle. I've openly admitted
paper
there
towel.
are benefits to 5th. And I've discussed those with you, and I'll discuss them again at the end of this. But, where the hell was I going with my point? I'm so dehydrated.
Make feel for water.
Yeah.
It's in Devin's in the way. I don't know if he's wetted it.
No, I have
Where's
not.
Hydrate Bot?
Yeah. I just want you all to know I don't have a drinking problem. I'm not going to pour it down my shirt like I do.
Like you did yesterday.
Yeah, like yesterday. I'm doing the stupid gag where I say I have a drinking problem and then I just let the water pour out of my mouth.
Sorry. Someone was asking. I think it was Terror of Death was asking. Does anybody have any opinions about Celtic mythology?
Oh,
Be nice.
I
quite like Celtic mythology.
It's probably really interesting. I have too many Irish friends who will not shut up about how Celtic mythology is awesome.
Yep.
So when someone is yelling at you how it's the best mythology, I'm like, shut up.
I have a feeling that...
Back to character creation for Mike.
Yeah, go ahead. I have a feeling that as because I'm putting in a lot of Celtic and Gaelic mythology in Pendragon, so that will be, I think, Mike's more solid introduction to it, perhaps in a more positive way, as we get to that. You have a spear in Pendragon. That is a spear from Celtic mythology.
I still hate the Irish.
You do hate the Irish.
My first character in Pendragon had a hate Irish of 20.
And that's a stat you can have.
It's the highest it's the highest stat you could have for a passion, and it sucks.
Basically, the when she says 20, it's a number on a D20 roll. So it's if I put players in a situation where they have a strong passion about it, hate, love, rivalry, whatever. So if I put her first character in the room with an Irishman and I say, roll your hate Irish, they need to roll that number or less. And if they do, and if they succeed, they do, then I get to force their hand as a GM and say, how are you going to be antagonistic towards these people? So when she has a hate Irish 20, the only number that she's failing on and gets her own control of herself is on 20, on a 20-sided die.
Yep.
Everything else is, okay, you're going to be antagonistic or confrontational or hitting them in some manner.
It sucks because I'm not a very antagonistic person. So
but damn the Irish!
But damn the Irish!
Devin, is it gay blog or gay daring or is it spear of...
Are you talking about Gale blog?
No.
Oh, okay. Don't
Gale
worry.
blog.
I think he's asking about
Gale blog.
spear.
I didn't know. Okay, that's sorry.
They're talking about Gale
Gale
blog
blog.
is Cahulan spear.
Yeah, it's Gale blog.
Wait, does Dave have Gale blog?
Dave has a Gale blog inspired. Like I took the abilities of that spear and I created a Pendragon version for it. He does not have that spear in and of itself. No.
Yeah, because Gale blog's fucking powerful.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this right, I just put the modifiers. Shut up. I put the modifiers here in the skills and throws thing, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Gale blog that appeared in Fate's Day Night.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing is overpowered as fuck.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, and I am.
If I'm wrong, and I usually wait.
I'm awake. I know what my deal is too.
Woohoo! It's gonna start to look like stone now. What?
Oh my god, I'm one.
Stone.
I don't get why I have 6 fucking saving throws.
Because
it makes sense to me.
You're instead
is that actually an old holdover thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that happened in first and second edition.
Yep.
Okay.
You had like 15 different saving throws.
Yep.
You had one against death, you had one against poison, you had one against mind control, you had one against... Man, I can't even remember all of them anymore.
Whereas instead of doing like something, but where you would do strength or constitution saves as a fortitude save, regardless of what type of thing it is, now it's just... If it's something that's related to your overall health, it's a constitution save.
Oh, God.
So, K-Bros is asking, what's the most recent game you've run or are currently running? I don't know, Devin, what are the games that you're currently running?
In my... during any given week, on Tuesday nights I run 5th edition D&D. On Friday night I run Pendragon.
With us.
With these guys. If it is... then there are 2 other games that I also run once a month. One is a Pathfinder game based on the Roll20 online service, and one is the Pathfinder 2nd edition game. And 5th is if my group of friends that are all parents, if they manage to actually get free time once every couple of months, we'll get together for a Friday night game, which is usually just a beer and pretzels one shot. We try and run L5R. as our long-term game, but most of the time we're all too stressed from work to have serious roleplay. So usually that's what I'm running right now.
I'm not running anything at the moment because of the fact that I like playing too much, and on top of that, okay, that's not true. I am running a one-on-one RP with Mike.
And Mike loves it.
It's based on the Persona series.
Oh, there you go.
And I find it's actually really cool because I somehow was able to add King Arthur into it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it weirdly works.
It really weirdly works,
It's super good.
and we have Sir Lancelot.
Lake, yeah.
We have Sir Lancelot, and he's been reincarnated as a dog,
A golden retriever.
and he's so cute.
Is that where the golden retriever meme came from for us?
No.
Oh no, wait, no.
The
You
one came from the Ultramarines.
It came from Ultramarines.
From
Right. Okay, I remember now. Oh, and well, no, I don't. I can't really say I run Death Watch because that's so few and far between that it's not regular.
But yeah, that's the one game that I run right now.
I ran a one side.
Is there a Persona based off of the Storm God Ball? Yes, there is. Their ball is there.
Yeah, I would see it would be.
Yeah, he's in there.
There
I remember.
At some point or another. If not, they're definitely in Megami Tensei.
Okay, well...
Ball is in Persona, I remember.
Well, now I am stuck.
Mike, how many games are you running?
Yeah.
Right now...
Oh, and the D20 Live stuff.
Oh, in D20... Are we counting D20 Live stuff as well?
Well,
yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, there's all the D20 Live stuff.
You get to see that!
Okay. Let's see here. There is the D20 Live long game, which has now gone into Ravenloft, which we just filmed the most recent 2 episodes of.
Raven Son.
There is the
Dark
Curse of the
Dark
Crimson
Loft.
Throne game I run with Sam and a few friends online on Roll20. I was running Kingmaker for the longest time, but I was suffering Game Master burnout, so I stopped, and Devin's been Game Mastering on Friday since then. Thank you, Devin.
No worries.
I am running a on again, off again, Super Robot Gao Geiger game for Sam,
Yeah.
whenever she asks, where she's playing the daughter of Guy Shisho.
Yeah.
Which those of you who know Gao Geiger know what that means.
We figured out a loophole in order to include Final. So
Yeah, I literally explained what happened after Final and where Guy's been since in the past 20 years. And it's actually really sweet and sad at the same time.
Yeah. Our Friday night games, it really depends on my mood.
Who we have.
If we have our full group together, and Mike is usually up for it because he and I are co-GMs for our Pathfinder Kingmaker game, but it started off as Mike's story, so I more do logistical support and help with the ungodly amount of NPCs that are there.
Also help with NPCs.
Yeah, so it's
that many people.
So Mike is predominantly the GM for that game. So if our full crew's there and Mike wants to run it, then we run a Kingmaker. If we don't, if he's not, and I'm not in the mood to run Pendragon, because it's a lot of prep for that game.
It really is.
It's a huge amount of prep for that game. I run Skulls and Shackles, which is our happy-go-lucky pirate game, where Mike plays a ninja pirate.
The Ninja Pirate Matthias.
The Ninja Pirate Matthias.
Best in the world.
In his mind.
And I play Barbarian.
And you play a barbarian that wrestled with a massive kraken.
Yeah, and I lifted the ship. It was great. With my legs.
So no, it wasn't a kraken. It was a
shambling mound.
It was a very large shambling mound.
It was a monstrous shambling mound. It was great.
But yeah, the shambling mound reached down into the crow's nest, grabbed Sam's barbarian,
I forgot there was no bucklers.
and tried to grapple Sam's barbarian off the ship.
Bucklers in,
Sam passed her strength check and caught herself wrapping her legs around the crow's nest.
Lifted up the ship.
And between the two of them not breaking their grapple, and me knowing how much the shambling mound can lift based on its strength save, we created this fantastic cinematic moment where Sam's barbarian and this shambling mound were trying to fight each other and out-grapple each other, and the shambling mound lifted the ship while holding on to Sam's character, and Sam basically had her character's legs wrapped around the crow's nest and lifting the ship.
It was great. No one wants to sleep with her now.
those are the mightiest thighs that I've ever seen. Mean.
So,
Guessing Mike likes ninjas then.
He does. He's like ninjas ever since he found out that he can turn invisible at level 2. Which is broken as fuck. And I will never argue it is not. Okay, question for the two guys who know 5th Ed.
Yeah.
My attack bonus is just my strength bonus, right? Or is it my strength bonus and my proficiency bonus?
Your attack bonus is strength bonus and proficiency bonus.
Thank
your
you.
damage is just your strength bonus.
Thank you.
Can you unplug that?
Unplug
the hot glue gun. Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
I think I'm done crafting for now because my paint is all waiting to dry.
The glue. It's the gluing.
It's the gluing.
You okay, Dave?
The glue is coming out really fast.
Oh boy.
Go, glue, go.
So since this is getting close to effectively being dry, there you go, chat. That's
Oh my god, the glue.
this is the. I have yet to do any kind of shading or dry brushing or highlighting, but the the beginnings of my Castle Ravenloft tiles with the bricks all in there.
That was,
So that'll take that, and gotta wait for that to dry and start doing multiple coats. But yeah.
that was frantic.
Yeah. What?
Because
Oh, Jack.
guess you could say put sunshades. The thighs are the limit.
Oh.
And then it's yeah.
My
What the hell is my initiative?
goodness, Jack.
Dex.
Just Dex?
That's it. Yeah. It's just Dex bonus. And
Sergeant Spade.
think I'm done.
That hurt my soul.
I think I'm done.
You get
Yeah?
your equipment?
yeah,
Oh, fuck, no, background. I've not done that.
Yep.
Yeah, I did the equipment. That was really easy, because I used
gonna
the
be a hobo?
class.
Use the quick build.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And that's why it's like I figured 5th Ed in terms of speed would win because they have
Yeah.
quick build options for every class.
Yeah. Where is the background fucking section in this?
Background is after race but before classes, I
Oh,
think.
what the hell?
I think.
That piece of paper.
Race.
Maybe.
I can find it here.
No.
Okay.
I have to do it myself. I just need to know roughly where it is. Or I could just look at the index like a motherfucker.
That's true. Yeah, you could.
Oh
Look
my
at
god,
him.
why is the index printed like this? What is this? Like, would you? It's not a Bible.
Could be.
There are many
You look at it
rules.
right.
Okay, so
If you're-
No, they're not! We just argued about this.
I know
Background 11. Alright.
there are many rules for that size of book. It's not as bad as Shadowrun. Did I ever show you the Shadowrun Master Index Edition?
Never did.
So the Shadowrun is so complicated, and there are so many different items and tech and gear and weapons that they actually reprinted the core rulebook by demand of their fans, called the Shadowrun 5th Edition Core Book Master Index Edition. And the index went from 8 pages to 18 pages.
That's
An 18-page index of font size 8.
Oh God.
Criminal entertainer. I'm gonna say.
But very good index, actually.
I'm gonna say my background is soldier.
Hey, Devin.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
What? Okay. Yeah, they're dry.
Okay, be careful. Just, hold it by the outside
Hold it by
corners.
the outside. Okay, so what are they supposed to be?
This is effectively an airlock ladder component.
So Dave is doing woodcraft. There's an aspect of modeling I haven't gotten into yet, but I want to for certain war games.
I love how you say yet.
No, I love MDF stuff. It's gorgeous.
Do we
It's
have a
solid
bet
and-
going as to who's going to end up with the first laser cutter?
That'll probably be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll
I'd
probably be.
love to laser cut.
I have a hot. the
You got
biggest.
your wire
I've got my
table.
hot wire table.
That's awesome. I've
Yeah.
used those before, and it's just so nice.
So nice. You know how long these would have taken me out? I have 8 squares and 2 columns. If I were to measure and cut these out, that would take me about 2.5 hours. This took me 10 minutes. Just I had to figure out dimensions I wanted, measure it out on the hot wire table, and then grab my insulation foam and just turn the machine on and it melted all of it. I
I'm
just
going to
cut
point
them.
you to a YouTube channel, Peter Serpel.
Yeah.
He does hot wire cutting for airplanes.
Oh, very cool.
For
Nice.
the largest project he's done is he's actually built an ultralight for himself.
Okay. Yes,
Hands up,
Mike.
what's up?
Yes, Mike.
Okay, so I know I can pick personality traits
He uses
and
ties.
specialties and stuff
Yeah.
for my background, can I opt not to do that because of the fact that Soldier was just the closest thing that fit Gladiator for me?
Yeah,
I read this.
I frequently just for my 5th edition game, they picked a background in terms of to give them an inspiration for a history and to give them additional feats and mechanics, and then they chose their personality traits
as they went along.
They went along, exactly.
So I'm not going to write those up because I
Jack
like to...
wrote something in Japanese, and I'm trying to read it.
Oh.
Because I've been practicing my Japanese, and I'm having a hard time.
Good the luck.
I believe that's done. You're welcome to take a look. Let me just make sure. Yeah, no, I think that's done.
Dave's got a knife.
Skill bonus, proficiency.
He's mildly annoying with a knife.
I might be able to read it. I'm not
Sword.
sure.
You got your mind there. Good. Personality traits you said you weren't doing.
Yeah, those are kind of...
you need to write in your passive wisdom.
Oh, okay.
But aside from that, you're done. Write in your passive wisdom, and that's it.
Well, why did you
-1.
It's not... It's not all according
So
to...
9.
Okay, hang on. Okay.
9?
It starts off as a 10,
Okay.
plus or minus your wisdom modifier.
All right, so done. And we'll tag an extra second on for that.
There you go.
So, Jed, 5th edition version done in 20 minutes, 11 seconds.
So 13, almost 14 minutes faster than Pathfinder.
Let's say 2012 just for that
Yeah.
popping in.
Yeah.
Done.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
I will give my full analysis of all 3
Later.
Done. When I'm done, but for now, I'm going to put this down for a second and join the conversation. Oh, my legs. God, I hate that book. Oh, God, I hate how that book is laid out.
Yeah, it's not.
It's dry.
It's
What do you
not
think?
the best.
Very nice, very nice.
Oh,
very
God.
nice.
Yeah, I'm very confused.
Oh, like it's not the rules. It's not the rules or even the absence of rules. Because Devin, I was listening with half an ear. Your complaints about the 5th ed rules.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, though, dude. They have 2 systems in place for making someone's life easier,
Okay.
and it's you either have advantage
Yes.
or give a random plus modifier.
Yeah.
Which is the go-to.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that.
I don't know why.
I'll have a proper long. Oh. Has anyone looked into 3D filament painting?
Oh,
I have not.
I missed that. Sorry. 3D filament painting. I have no idea what that is. More details. Please.
And going to see what the YouTube chat is saying. Please tell me.
I ain't gonna go get another drink. But yeah, I have no idea what 3D filament... wait, do you mean like just 3D printing? I didn't know it was called 3D filament printing.
Filament is the name of the plastic.
Oh, so 3D printing. Okay.
Yeah, because it comes in rolls.
Apparently, here in Mississauga, where we live, Tom, who's part of the D20 Live crew, tells me that the library actually has multiple 3D printers and give free lessons on 3D printing.
I literally work in the library and I've told you this.
Yeah, but Tom told me first. I'm not saying
he
you haven't.
didn't. You weren't listening to me.
No, Tom told me long before you did.
Oh yeah? We're gonna play that game? Play that game?
You were working at the library when he told me. I know this for a fact.
I literally have 3D printed shit that I told you I got from the library on my desk. You were playing with the Sam Saran logo on my desk.
We're not arguing whether you did or whether you didn't. We're arguing timeline. Tom was first.
No, he wasn't, and I can prove it. You play with my shit. Where's my Sam Saran logo?
We're going.
Just because I played with your shit, that sounds wrong. Just because I played with the things that you printed off doesn't mean that Tom didn't tell me about it conceptually first.
No, okay. Do you remember my Sam Saran logo, right?
Yes.
That I played with. You asked me where I got it, and I said I printed it at the library. Did that happen before or after Tom told you?
After.
No, it didn't!
Yes, it did. I know when he told me because I know when I started doing my blog, planning for my blog.
Yeah.
I need
Don't do that thing.
I really need a new couch.
Need a bigger one.
I don't need a bigger one. I won't be able to get it down here. We had a hard enough time getting that one down here.
We need a longer one.
Can you pass my cup?
I cannot. I'm buried.
Gotta rinse it and put stuff in it.
Devin, you guys remember how hard it was to
the
get the couch.
dramatic chip-eating scene in Death Note was written by the guy who did Kamen Rider Flies.
Really?
That sounds bad.
I can see that.
According to Sergeant Spate, yes.
I can see that.
I can see that, yeah.
Have you even seen Flies?
I've seen the...
Dramatic chipping scene?
Yes. I've seen a man eat chips too dramatically.
Everyone's seen a man eat chips too dramatically. Everyone's seen Death Note.
Well, I haven't seen all of it. But I
watched
have
movies.
seen that part when he's Well, he's got a big hard-on for writing names in that book.
Death Note used to be one of my favorite series, and then I read the end of it, and I was like, oh, that's disappointing.
Then it got weird.
I don't know. I was getting a good chunk through the manga, and I was enjoying it. The problem is they really depower L partway through.
No.
It's just like Nier just ends up being what L was supposed to be.
Almost. Now to do this very carefully.
Well, I'm just having your drink so you don't spill.
No, I'm just going to put it down, and then I will sit down. Oh, it's drying. I can actually see the bricks. It's getting there. You. Okay. There.
Yes,
There.
I ever
Also,
so...
my branch actually has... Sorry to cut you off, Dave.
You bastard.
You're not that upset. Oh! That was a nipple. I'm not that kind of girl.
My apologies.
But yes, to answer your question, Tipsler, I'm not quite good enough to do really small pieces of terrain. Like you saw on our Kingmaker stream that I bought the WizKids treasure chests. That like chairs, benches. I'm not there yet. I do larger pieces. So I would 3D print anything that is either too small or too detailed, like centerpiece stuff. And that's what I would do that for. I just haven't done it yet. Haven't started doing that yet.
Yeah, they're just talking about the Death Note ending, and I agree. The movie version of Death Note is way better than the series because
The series as a whole, or the ending?
The ending.
Oh, okay.
Because I believe that.
Okay. I haven't seen the Death Note movie yet. So.
The two live action ones made by the Japanese. Because the problem is in the anime.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the manga, but in the anime they try to make Light sympathetic.
In the manga too.
In the manga too, and you can't do that. Light's
a horrible person.
There's so many ways to spin that character that you can make it be in awe. It's like, oh look, our god, the modern god is dying.
They make him really pathetic at the end of the manga because basically he's like.
Oh, because they're cashing in on all the shit he did.
Yeah, because they're cashing in on all the shit he did, and it's just like, well, I'm doing it because I'm a god. And then he's like, and then Ryuk is like the last thing that he's got there, and Ryuk at the beginning said that he would have no problem trying to kill him at the end, and Ryuk did. And then he was like, well, what the fuck was that? Because like Light was like, out of everybody, I thought Ryuk would have been on my side, and Ryuk was like, no, fuck.
You were here for the loss.
That sounds like such a Jordan thing.
Pretty much.
Like,
oh my god,
It's basically Jordan.
Jordan's like, you gave me apples and loss.
Yes, exactly.
He's basically Jordan.
Yep.
Although I will say this, and it's one of the few good things about the Death Note live action movie on Netflix. It's worth it to see William Dafoe playing Ryuk.
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, he's a really good Ryuk. Like, because...
Ooh, you're dry.
Because normally Ryuk, there isn't a lot that really rounds out his personality in the story. Apart from what you get from his initial... your initial impressions of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But in the movie with William Dafoe playing, I'm like, wow, I want to know more about this version of Ryuk.
Oh, cool.
And I even like the kid that got to play L. The young...
Who was it?
He was really cool.
A young black gentleman. It was clearly his own spin on L.
Okay.
Because he was doing a more Western, obsessive-compulsive kind of build
Okay.
to the personality, rather than the more traditional. But I would really enjoy that, and I want to see that character win more. They completely botched the ending.
Huh.
We'll call this... Okay, Devin?
Yeah.
The closing song. Light has performed his coup de grace.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Of whatever it is. I'm not going to spoil that for you, should you choose to watch it on your own.
Yeah.
And is the last man standing. L is still alive.
Okay.
Now, he is in the hospital after all the stuff he's done has happened. Who should come in the hospital in a Death Note story to talk to him?
I'm not sure.
L.
Been to it.
Right?
Yeah.
To get that final...
just because those two characters were so essential to each other's existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's the dad.
To talk to Light.
Yeah, about everything that happened, and Light explains everything to his father.
Odd choice. Okay.
Yeah, and the closing song. What would you pick for the closing song for a Death Note movie?
I'm not good at this.
Like, just...
Run With Us from the Raccoons.
That's That's Dave.
Yeah, there you go.
But would it be Love Hurts?
What?
can't see Devin's face. Love her. I am not kidding.
Love hurts. Eat an apple. Love scars.
That is literally the closing song to the Death Note movie
Okay.
for
It was
Netflix.
bad.
And I'm just like, why is this thing? Because they do the Light's girlfriend in this. It isn't Misa. It's some girl.
Okay.
And they kind of for a good portion of the film, it almost looks like she's going to be the real Kira.
Oh, okay. All right.
That would have been cool.
And you're like, oh god, is she the actual Kira? Is Light just a huge red herring, and she's the one Elle's been fighting the whole time.
Elle's been fighting the whole time. Right.
But it's not. It's Light.
Oh, okay.
It ends up being
Yeah.
Light in
Yeah.
the end who wins, which
Yeah.
is kind of boring by comparison.
And he's like a whiny teenage
Whiny
kid.
fucking guy. He's not Light.
Okay.
He's
yeah.
not. He's not that perfect schoolboy who's super intellectual.
Yeah.
And all that. No. He's just a punk teenager who sells his test answers and all that stuff.
Okay.
Oh, and his dad is not the head of a major investigative division of the FBI or anything like that. He's just a beat cop.
Just be go. Okay. All right.
Anyway,
Interesting.
yeah, it is now time
Interesting choice.
for me. Oh my God, why is it 3 pages like this? To do,
Give me the pages. You're doing a fighter, right?
yeah.
It's 2 pages.
Well, give it back. I still had the 5th page.
And
All right,
dramatic
it's time for
flair.
me to do the one system I don't know.
This is gonna be tricky for you.
It probably will be.
Well, it's actually not that bad. Follow the step by step. It's actually really straightforward.
Okay.
I gotta like.
Oh boy. I hate what they
I
did
let
to the
this
backgrounds
settle
in
for a
this. I miss the themes from Starfinder.
I'm going to do the
So
same
much.
thing.
Apparently, there's a live action there's a live action Bleach,
Yeah. From Japan. I don't care. I stopped caring about Bleach a
and
long
the guy
fucking
who
time
played
ago.
Gintaro plays Ichigo.
Wait.
Gintaro from Forze.
Is it... No. No.
Yes.
No.
Maybe.
That's what he said.
He is. So yes.
No. That's not... Well,
You don't
okay,
agree, but
That might be good casting, but that's not who I would pick from Forze. There's literally a much more grumbly person to his immediate right in that show.
Yeah.
Because that didn't happen.
Okay, Devin, to explain Gintaro and Forze.
Yeah.
I'm going to explain this. Gintaro's introduction, you think someone else is going to be the main character of this show. Because we have the kid with the anime sickness walking
yes.
around, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, a girl is confessing to him and hands a love letter, and he hucks it dramatically into a river or something, right?
Right.
Then all of a sudden you hear a voice scream, "Don't do that!" And a kid dressed like an 80s Japanese punk says, "You shouldn't do that. You should at least read her letter."
At least read it, because it's nice. The nice thing to do.
And then he jumps in the river to get it, screams in pain when he lands, shows up at the guy's class, slams the letter down and says, "You're a jerk.
By the
and
way-
that's why we're going to be best friends," and sits down. And it's just, that's the main character of Forze.
And we love him.
And he's so sweet.
And this is Bleach, right?
No, this
No,
is
this is
this is the kid who's
Kamen
playing
Rider Forze.
Ichigo.
Oh, Kamen Rider Force. Oh, okay. Sorry. The Ichigo, different. Never mind. Okay. Yeah.
Ichigo's an asshole.
From
Yeah.
Bleach. I don't know if you've ever read Bleach.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kid who's playing Ichigo. I don't debate that the actor can do it.
Sorry, I've watched some Bleach episodes. I haven't really.
Yeah.
Though not
Because
terribly
we all
familiar.
had to watch Bleach at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't debate that the actor can do it. He's a very capable actor getting over like that.
Yeah.
It's just a thing of,
But why?
that's not who I would pick.
That's how you would pick. Yeah.
And that is not a slight on the actor at all.
That
I
actually,
love who they picked to play Rurouni Kenshin, though. That guy was perfect casting.
for Kenshin.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That was perfect. I want to
That
see
actually,
it.
the scene that you just described for me in Kamen Rider just very much reminds me of a incident that happened at a Warhammer tournament many years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Back when I was dating my ex, she.
Which one? Oh, no, don't say names.
Doesn't
Don't say
matter.
names.
Doesn't
Don't say
matter.
names.
It's an
One
ex.
of them.
It's I went to a staff Warhammer tournament because I worked for GW back in the day, and at that tournament, we were the group of us are going out to dinner afterwards. So I was playing with this kid. I was 20, early 20s at the time. Kid was 14, 15. Nice kid, really eloquent and very fair player. I was rolling quite well. Like it was a great game for me. My leadership tests were on par. My 2 hits and 2 wounds were doing really well. But every time, doesn't matter whether it was a board game or a Warhammer game in particular, she would walk up to the table and immediately my rolls would get worse. Mm-hmm. So that happened in this tournament. The moment that she walked up, stood next to me at the table, I completely botched a key attack, and the game turned on its head immediately afterwards. And I wasn't mad. I just looked at her. She smiled, knowing what she had done, and said, "Go away." Just flat. Go away. Leave the table.
Classic.
And she laughed and loved it, and off she went. And I turned back to start playing again, and the kid was staring at me like I was the most horrible human being that ever lived. And he was like, flat, emotionless. "You should go apologize." Ellipses, or I'll stab you. It's and like, no, it's okay. We weren't fighting. That's why we were laughing. She's not mad. I'm not actually mad. We'll just keep going. We're on the clock here. And he grabbed his dice, put them in the dice bin, and took the dice off the table and said, "I'm not going to play until you actually go apologize to your girlfriend."
Well, if you want a forfeit, kid.
I was like, I really should have said that. I was like, "You gonna give me a pass? Okay, cool." I thought, okay, crap, I can't actually keep playing until I... So I went outside, grabbed it, was like, "Do you mind coming back in?" The kid insists that I apologize to you, and that he knows you apologized, that I apologized. It was hilarious, just, like, "You're not treating her right. Go apologize to her." Like, we weren't fighting, but I suddenly felt, like, several feet smaller because this 14-year-old said, "Bad Devin." I went, "Okay, all right, sure."
So Cave Rose is saying, now for the D20 Live people, top 5 favorite anime/manga.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Christ.
That's not a manga.
Yes, it is.
Anime/manga.
It is
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann still my number 1. I'm currently reading through Monster. What's a manga I really, really love though? Oh Christ! What are the top shows? What the fuck else do I have here? Oh, Gal Geiger's here. I gotta put a shout out to that. The fuck? What else is on my top list?
Kenshin, Record of Lotus War for me.
Ooh. The dry D&D campaign.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like the D&D campaign in an anime. With all the classics. The farm boy who became the great paladin. The really irritating elf girl who expects everything from the main character.
The one drawn as an evil guy, and I think turns out to be an evil guy.
Turns out to be an evil guy. It's like the evil-looking rogue, who is an evil rogue. Yeah. Oh, what was? What else did I have? Way back when I first started into anime, and there really wasn't anything else around other than Magical Girls anime, because that Sailor Moon had been just introduced to the market. My friends and I really enjoyed Magic Knights Ray Earth.
Oh yeah, I actually like that one.
So that still sticks out in my mind.
I still really like Kingdom.
Because of Mutants and Masterminds, I'm now getting into
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been, unlike the rest of these guys, I don't watch a lot of anime.
I really like Steins Gate, thanks to Sam.
It's why I use Fantasy Grad. I need to scroll up. I'm seeing why I use Fantasy Grounds now for 5e builds. Is the link above, guys? Is the link above the whole Roll20 situation? Probably. But anyway, I'm just seeing Tipsiller saying it's why I use Fantasy Grounds, and I'm guessing he's talking about whenever I was referring to Roll20 in a couple of minutes, a short while ago.
All right, time to build the one system I haven't built a character in.
My favorite anime.
Sorry, Pathfinder.
Steins Gate is my favorite anime of all time right now.
Yeah.
Currently. And actually, the reason why I got into it was because of Arcada, because.
Damn it, man!
Because he recommended it on his show, and at the time I was a fan. This is before I actually got to.
You're no longer a fan of Arcada?
I'm not
Now
a
they
fan.
know.
It's just, he's a friend. And now I'm like, well, now I can say I'm more than a fan.
Yes.
So,
Oh, in like a good way.
in a good way, not in a creepy way.
I'm more than a fan.
I'm more than a fan now.
But,
Come on, bro, I'm ripped.
but yeah, no, like, Steins Gate is my favorite anime of all time. My second favorite anime of all time is Seven Samurai. Oh, no, Samurai 7.
Samurai, yeah, that's a great one.
I love it to bits. Another one of my favorite anime is Gao Geiger. I love it so much because it's got so much heart. I can't not love it. What's another thing that I really like?
In answer to your question, Jack, yes, I have watched Berserk. Not enough of it though.
It's better to read the manga.
Fair enough. So you were saying?
I like Busou Rinkin.
What's that one?
Busou Rinkin. Okay, think of like the most stereotypical type of action adventure kind of story with a little bit of a mythic element to it.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically that.
Oh,
and
nice.
I love it because of the fact that, one, the dub for it is either atrocious or the greatest fucking thing ever. And two, the characters just have so much heart in them. And three, the main two characters get together before the end of the show. And it's sweet and not forced.
Right.
So you look at that and you're like, oh, it makes sense that they would get together.
Nice.
Right? And it's one of those things, and they're not like blatant about it.
Okay.
Where it's just like they do the whole, well, we're a couple now, but we're not kissing on like on the show. We're holding hands and blushing, and it's cute.
Oh, cute.
So,
okay. There was another anime, a mech anime, Full Metal Panic. Thank you. Yep.
Not
really
Alchemist?
liked. Full Metal Alchemist. Jesus.
Oh yeah,
Devin.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. But I think a lot of people will say that.
Which one? Brotherhood or the original?
Brotherhood. I feel that by the time you reach the end of Brotherhood, it's more cohesive than by the time you reach the end of the original.
Yeah.
I once, over a weekend, marathoned all 53 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist.
Woo!
I lost a part of the middle.
The part everyone lost.
Where I'm like, and the sun's coming up. What?
And where am I?
Yeah, I lost an arc.
Jesus.
Terror of Death. Sam and Cal Geiger go together like PB and J.
I've never had a PB&J sandwich. I should have one of those.
You've never had a PB&J sandwich?
Never have.
Interesting.
I've never had it either, but I'm allergic to peanuts, so that makes more sense.
Yes, it does.
So, out of survival instinct.
Yes.
Yep. Mike and I also every now and then gush about the various iterations of Fate. But
I can't anymore. You know what? Fate Grand Order killed it for me.
Really? I haven't finished it, so...
No, because Fate Grand Order, the game.
Oh, the game. Okay.
Fucking gotcha. Because there's so many fucking servants now.
Yeah.
So many. And the problem is, you get tired of how it's written after a while.
Stop the timer.
Right.
While you're ranting.
Oh my god, just... Because after playing Grand Order through the English translation, I am so tired of the Fate franchise because it's so busy saying, you suck for having hope. But here's all these people who life hacked their way through. But you suck for having hope. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Christ, there we go. I got it out of my system. Alright. And then I get one class, back to this. Step 5. 1 class ability boost.
Yep.
Is class's key ability, which should be in the class.
Yep.
Which will be...
Now, is that still in beta?
Yeah, this is the beta version.
Yeah, this is the beta version.
Oh, I didn't know it had a book.
Yeah. They did this apparently for first edition as well. We just didn't care about it as much back then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It was nowhere near as pretty.
There are flaws. Yes. There are a lot of flaws in here, like Paladins.
What's wrong with your Paladinus?
They don't have Smite or Detect Evil anymore.
You don't have a fully powered Paladinus.
It's called Righteous Smite.
Yeah, I know, but you don't get it at level 1.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of ways to hack it back in this system.
Yeah.
It's just... Everything they have out of the gate is a nice thing that would be a beautiful alternate feature for a paladin. Shouldn't be the main line. Anyway, so key abilities either strength or dex with Chevy strength, which will bring my strength up to an 18.
Oh, they're asking about waifus now.
She's right there.
Oh, I didn't say my favorite anime. I didn't say my favorite anime.
You should do that.
Put a pin on that one. Let's see. I am enamored with Macross.
Oh,
Not Robotech, but Macross.
Okay.
So the first season of Robotech, before they jam it into another anime. I enjoy.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of people don't talk about Macross 2 all that often because it was like a alternate reality Gundam universes sort of jammed in there.
Okay.
I like that one. But the one I love the most from Macross,
Plus?
it's not Macross Plus or Macross Zero. It's Macross Frontier.
Oh, yeah.
That one was great.
We have not finished watching that.
Oh, that's so yeah, that goes places and it's a lot of fun.
Very cool.
But this was what, top 5?
Yeah.
Then I've got this isn't going to be in any sort of order, but and then there's Full Metal Panic.
Yes.
1, 2, and Famufu. Season 1, 2, and Famufu.
Yep. Yep.
So all 3 seasons.
All 3 seasons. Yeah.
There's another one coming out.
Lovely.
You finally get the Leviathans coming out finally in the anime.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, also shout out to Keijo, because Keijo is an awesome series. It's so funny. It's the best sports anime of 2017.
It's best shonen anime in 2017. Second, My Hero Academia.
What
It's
else
true.
is there? Gundam 08th MS Team.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I
phenomenal.
love how that's now become an underrated show somehow.
It's a sleeper show, you know? It
wasn't in its time. In its time, it was the Gundam show.
It was great. I love the period it was in, the grittiness of ground combat with Gundams.
Yep. Yep.
It made the mole suits more alive to me,
Really?
and the characters fallible. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So that's 3. Now let's see. Gurren Lagann, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
Because you got to say the whole thing, or
You're wrong.
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you're gonna do it properly, then you gotta yell it. Tengen Toppa Gurren
My daddy told me to
And of course, there's that part that no one remembers but Mike.
All right.
It's his favorite.
If I ever explain to you why it's my favorite, you will cry for the reason.
But going through that that series, other than what was it, episode 4?
Oh yeah,
The one,
we were talking
everybody's
about
like,
that
no.
Yep.
And then you can legitimately feel the graph of the budgetary use at the beginning. It was like, it's like, okay, we blew 2/3 of the budget on the last 4 episodes.
And they were worth it.
So good.
To be fair, Gurren Lagann was inspired by Gao Geiger for sure, because there's
absolutely.
if you watch Gao Geiger Final especially, you can see the exact scenes that Gurren Lagann was like, "Yep, we're gonna make an entire anime based on this scene."
And my number 5, and these aren't ranked at all, but Fully Cooley.
Oh yeah, fully goody.
Fully Cooley. So good. It spoke to my madness. Yeah, you can use many.
Yep. Thank you.
Just out of nowhere, you just see this moped flipping and then land and kick out a kickstand, and then some kid getting smashed in the face with a guitar.
Basically,
I'm like, yes, okay.
Basically, the entire show is like it's a commentary on puberty from the perspective of the boy.
Yeah. And how it hits you like a
Like a bass guitar would.
like a gas-powered bass guitar.
It's fucking great.
And the madness going on around him, and smoking. Never knows best. Written on a cigarette. Yeah. So those are my 5. I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones, but I'm bad with memory. I don't remember what I watched. I was big on Evangelion. The original one. I still haven't finished the new one.
Okay, so thoughts on alternative and progressive. I have not watched either of those yet. The second and third season of Fully Cooley.
Oh, So, there's a third?
Yeah.
I thought there was only a second and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, alternative and progressive. They just progressive. Did progressive come out yet? I'm just double checking because I know alternative came out.
Chat, throw us some love. Did it come out? Trigon was my jam.
Oh God, I have how did I forget Trigon?
Oh my God, you have the thing 3D printed.
I do. I have fucking Vash's gun 3D printed.
Pause your
both,
thing and
both
bring
of them
it
are out. So I have not seen
okay.
either of them yet, mostly because, well, Mike doesn't really like Fully Cooley, and I haven't had time to do it by myself yet.
I can do it with
There's
you.
2 more seasons I'm missing. God damn it.
Yeah, they're out. So.
Okay. But yeah, I'm still in the process of watching the remake of Evangelion. I've watched the first 2 movies.
Evangelion.
I know, Scam. I know.
Ah!
Have you seen anything to the new ones? Though?
Yes.
You have?
Okay.
Is it still infuriating for you?
Okay, I'm not kidding you. One of my best friends absolutely fucking loves Evangelion.
Oh.
He owns every single piece of Evangelion, like, you could ever fucking think of, and he shoved it down my throat.
I see.
And I'm like, but why? It's not that good of a series. Because it's so...
That, he's like, no!
And I even know somebody who worked on the project. I know somebody who... I know somebody who did, like, he was on the animation team for Evangelion, and he's like, yeah, no, the director was a fuck nugget. I'm not naming names because of the fact that, one, I don't want to out him, and 2, I don't want to get him in trouble.
So we're not going to talk... we won't name that guy you knew, but, oh man, that director was nutty towards the end, and you could tell... in how the show turned out.
They also recommend Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop.
Oh my God, how did I forget those? This is going to turn into a 10 list now.
Okay, I'm going to have an unpopular opinion. I don't really like Cowboy Bebop that much.
It's okay.
I like the music from Cowboy Bebop, and I like the idea of Cowboy Bebop, but I don't like Cowboy Bebop as much as everyone else, like, loves Cowboy Bebop.
That's my social media. No, I don't like Cowboy Bebop that much either.
I'm just...
The only person you're offending is Scott.
It's just... It's just because...
Scott's welcome to take it up with me and my face.
Cowboy Bebop is so overblown, and on top of that, the other characters are not that great. And Spike is very much a... He's not a protagonist that I like to follow. So...
They really should have done 2 extra episodes just to go into what the hell happened to him.
No, that's what that's the whole point of Cowboy Bebop, actually. It's the fact that you don't know what happened to him. You don't know if he's
or
actually...
Anyone.
Yeah, you don't know if they lived or died.
Soldier.
And you're like, oh, well.
I was going to say, whether or not he's a super soldier.
Oh, Outlaw Star, apparently.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I love that. That's I haven't finished it. I have it, and through legal means. The opening's great for that.
If you love the music, Sam, then see Kids in the Slopes, same director and music director, but story about adolescence and the period of music of jazz before the Beatles. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, and Bacano.
Bacano, yeah.
Bacano!
That's a good one.
Oran!
Oh, yeah. Host Club. Oran.
I'm not that big into Host Club, but...
I liked it. The show there gets really melodramatic, though.
The problem with Host Club for me was that it was right in the time when I went to high school. So I'm just like, oh, I don't really want to watch my life right now. That's not what I want to do.
But I enjoyed that one as well.
Devin, are signature skills that come in count as...
Signature skills are ones that you should take. You're trained. You should become trained in because they are the only skills, unless you choose certain feats, that will become legendary ranking later on, or that can go above master. It's untrained, trained, master, expert, legendary. So if you want Jared to have expert or legendary training in something, make sure they're your signature skills.
Second half of Tiger and Bunny drags out and focuses too much on the Batman homage.
Then I really, Eddie, the number of skills that you get to choose from that you are trained in, just pick your signature skills because they're usually the best ones for that class.
Not Mr. Bateman.
Because I had survival. I took survival, nature, and athletics.
Yep, all good things for fighters.
Oh, Bateman. Gotta love you some Bateman.
I have so many more pages to do.
So many pages.
Because I've done 4 signatures, but
All right, Devin, which one would apply to farming? Nature or survival?
Nature.
So I guess athletics and.
Higurashi? Oh my god.
I have not seen Higurashi.
Oh, what was that that question that we put a pin in and then?
Who's your favorite waifu?
Oh, waifus. Oh yeah. Sam is an animu, and
I am animu.
she is she is Mike's waifu. Waifus.
I don't really even understand what a waifu is.
It's just who's your
fictional
favorite
character that.
Who's your favorite girl in an anime, basically?
That you would actually make your wife, not necessarily you enjoy as a character, but is.
Oh, okay.
Gives you the.
Jeez.
Burning thing.
Saber.
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 That makes sense.
I really can't think of anyone else but Saber. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'll just go with that one since I can't think of anything.
Okay, so I only got 1 fighter feat at level 1.
Correct. Yep. Just look at your fighter chart.
Yeah,
That's
so
everything you get at level 1.
Power attack. And I got another general feat.
Because of the choices you made in fighter?
Yeah,
Yes,
ancestry
okay.
feat. With my ancestry feat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sam,
Yep.
who's your husbando?
Oh, my husbando? That would be, besides Mike.
Thank you.
But,
Oh my God!
Thank
made
you for
him sweat.
Thank you for taking the spare on that one, my love.
You're like, well, I'd have to decide. And Mike's like, what?
like, well, besides Mike,
Thank you.
I would
I
have
used to be your husbando just purely, back
if
when
I
you were
had
just a
to
fan.
pick a non-fictional one, my
Yeah, you
goodness.
damn fiction.
If I had to pick a non-fictional person, then it would probably be Shinjiro from Persona 3 because I love him. he's so cool, but he's also, I realized, very like emo. And I feel
dysfunctional.
He's very dysfunctional. Okay, basically what happened is that in the story of Persona, he dropped out of school, he ran away from his friends because he called himself too dangerous, and then when he did come back to hang out with his friends, then he sacrificed himself because he felt like he had no meaning in life. And I'm like, what? And he goes, I'm going to right the one wrong I did. And I'm like, but... No!
You being alive?
You being alive would be better. You helping him grow up and be... You helping this kid that you killed his mom for, and you helping him grow up would be way better than you dying for him. Yeah. That makes no sense!
It's like, that is a much better choice.
So, I love him, though. He's because the thing is that you actually do get to experience what it would be like to date him, because in Persona 3, they have the Persona 3 Portable.
Yeah.
They have the option to play as a girl instead of a guy.
Okay.
So when you play as a girl, you have the option to date him.
Right.
And he's super sweet.
Oh.
He's just like the entire time he's like, are you eating enough? Are you okay? Do you have a cold? And like, no, like you can't get sick right now because you're our leader and everything. And I'm like, oh no, he's so sweet. Why? Sweet boy, why?
Who would I have to pick for an actual life?
Also in Persona 3 Portable, you have the option to save him as well.
From sacrificing himself?
Right. You have the option to save him. He doesn't play for the rest of the game, unfortunately, but you get the option to save him from dying. And it's great. Right.
Kaylee from Firefly?
Okay, if we're going outside of anime, then yes.
Does that count?
Well, but in
the Predator.
Inara or Kaylee. Schwarzenegger Predator? Waifu! Yes, manly handshake.
I love that fucking film.
It's not a real erection if you don't have to palm a blade.
You killed Devin!
Wow!
What the hell? Oh, balls of
I
life.
felt good to say.
Yep.
Oh, I've not said that in years.
Player's handbook only. Otherwise, he had access to backgrounds from 5 other sources. Yes, thank you, Tipsiller. That is going to come really useful.
But anime waifu, like traditional thing of waifu?
Ryoko from Tenchi Muyo.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm classic like that.
All right.
But
Yeah.
she was the one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
And even though Record of Lotus War is one of my
I wouldn't
favorite
date
animes,
Deedlit.
I would not date Deedlit.
I don't need that.
I wouldn't
kind
even
of
date Deedlit. Never mind marry her. Too many problems. Means well. Too many problems. All right, I'm gonna have to go.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Anyone
It was
else?
a pleasure having you in.
No,
I'm
they're
just trying to
talking
go
about
through animes that
bunch
of
anime
I've
stuff
seen.
now.
And
Awesome.
well, Devin, can you at least give me a hand help finishing this up?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
Because I'll just give myself Iron Will.
Okay.
Wait, no, I get expert proficiency in. Okay, no, that'll just give myself Iron Will.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't show you, but I will answer questions.
So I'll
Masato
just pop
in
that up
peacetime
from
for me,
temp,
Jenna,
from
save
thing
my
to thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's done. Okay, so I've done all the first level stuff. My initial proficiencies, those are done. My feats are done.
Yep.
Next is my equipment.
Yep. 150 silver pieces. You can get
Terrible,
anything from
Death,
the
you're
main
asking
section
a
of the
very
book,
hard question.
which
What?
is
They asked favorite male and favorite female characters from all the Persona games.
I've never ever played them.
Okay.
It's more of a question for Sam.
Okay. Persona 1,
So
I don't
150
really
you
have
said?
a favorite
150
character
silver
because
pieces,
they're all
yeah.
kind of doopy. It's true.
bulk
I
is
don't
very
know.
straightforward.
You're my
You can
connection to
carry
that.
up to your strength bonus
Persona
in bulk.
2,
I'm
I
not
like
keeping track of that.
Tatsuya and Maya.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're actually really sweet and they're really good together. Persona 3, Shinjiro and Aegis, because Aegis is best toaster. And she is. She's a robot. She's best toaster. So Aegis is best toaster. I love Aegis though. She's such a good like dramatic character. She like everything that happens with Aegis. She's the one who grows the most out of the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, she's very much because of the fact that she is a robot. She kind of mimics the main character's personality growth in the entirety of the game.
Oh, okay.
And I like that a lot. Persona 4, favorite male character, Kanji, favorite female character, Naoto. Persona 5, oh my god, Persona 5, best male character would probably, okay, I'm gonna say Ryuji because I love him. He's like one of the greatest best friend characters I've ever seen in my entire life. I know everyone hates him for...
Bun?
Yeah, I know everyone hates him because of the fact that he literally yells out, "Hey, we're the Phantom Thieves!" when they're trying to hide, and I'm like, that's like the dumbest thing you could have done. Because he did it like 5 times where he's like, "We're the Phantom Thieves!" And I'm like, no.
No.
And just like, no, baby, no, please stop.
We're sneaking!
Yeah, pretty much.
And how many silver pieces is it?
150.
Favorite female character
100.
from... 5 would
150.
probably
Yeah, 150, I believe.
be
Let me just check.
Makoto.
Because I know where to look
Because
for
I
it.
love Makoto. To me, she's one of the best characters.
They really won't take long.
Oh my god, there's so much stuff left to do here.
Why does it look like an anima character sheet?
I don't fucking know.
You don't need to fill out that much left.
Okay.
You really don't. You're fine.
I'm just being a butt, but oh my god,
Yep.
there's a lot of fields.
Oh Christ. There's so much shit on here.
No one wants to mention how awesome Yusuke is. Okay, I didn't like Yusuke as much as everyone else did because of the fact that Yusuke was...
By equipment. Yeah, 150
Well,
silver
first off,
pieces.
Yusuke was kind of voiced by... Was Yusuke the one that was voiced by Mercer? And I was like, immediately, I didn't really like how he voiced him.
No, Yusuke was Matt Mercer voiced Artist Boy in 5.
That's Yusuke.
Oh, then yes.
Yosuke is the one from 4.
Okay, you know what? That's pretty close. Let's not get on Mike's ass about that one, huh?
So I didn't really...
Yusuke and Yosuke.
I didn't really
that's close enough.
Yusuke that much because I didn't like how Matt Mercer voiced him, and on top of that, he was kind of an asshole when you first met him, and I'm like, eh. Also, I went to school with guys like him, and they're not nice people. So.
Where do I put my
Was that in response to Raynor?
No, yeah, Raynor.
Yeah,
right
okay.
there.
Where do I put my armor?
yeah.
Armor is...
That's just my opinion, though.
Ability, could sheet...
Where I list my armor.
Yeah, 1 second. It's strength. 14.
Oh, here's armor class.
There, yeah.
Pardon me.
Oh,
my
Alexander Janssen says, before you go, Devin, I loved your M&M game.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. And I completely agree with
It
that.
happened already.
He's looking forward to continuing it.
To continue it is what I mean,
I
yeah.
see, there.
I agree with Jack though. I was worried about that not a lot was happening. I was trying to determine how much like regular school stuff versus hard ass superhero combat I wanted to do, because I wanted to be less superhero and more high school for that first orientation. But the flow worked because of the players. I think in any other scenario, it might not have the best flow because there's way too much it happening in the gym than happening after the gym. Even though, admittedly, we didn't get to all of it because I'm not the best at timing one-shots. I usually end up cutting stuff. Which anyone who are patrons and who have the notes know that I cut out a bunch of things from the actual live play. There's much more in the notes than there was in the live play. Because I just didn't have time.
Oh, do you have to clean stuff out of there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong with mine.
It gets stuck, and that's why it kind of gets jammed, and that's why it rips paper.
Almost there.
Choppy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get you.
So it's why, because like, especially the cheap ones, because if you get like an actual knife for it to go down through, then those are fine. You never have to worry about those. You have to sharpen them every once in a while, but you don't have to worry about it as much as these ones, because these ones are really shitty. This one's like $20 from Staples.
I've got a steel ruler and an X-Acto.
Yeah.
That's as high-tech I can. Well, my mom's got a cardstock cutter like that.
Okay, all right.
And I've used that once, and I'm like, why is this bad?
It is bad.
my struggles right now are reminding me of the very first time I built a Pathfinder 2nd Edition character. It's hard to... That sheet is difficult to understand when you first play it. It could be way better. I hope the sheet is what they change, if anything.
I don't know.
Because there's a lot I would change. I would not.
Aren't most of the Phantom Thieves assholes when you first meet them? Yeah, they are, but...
they're all better people later.
They're all better people later, and Yusuke doesn't really become that much of a better person at the end of it. He just becomes less pretentious. Bad. He becomes less pretentious, and you're like, well, that's a regular person then, and not anything better.
God, I love MDS stuff, especially when you start painting it.
Yeah. This is Warsenal.
Warsenal?
Yeah, as an arsenal, but they, instead of arms, they
I agree with your choices, except switch out Naoto with Chie for your Persona 4 female character. I actually do like Chie a lot. Chie is a good person. Oh fuck, I forgot about Marie. No, okay, switch out Marie for me. Switch out Marie with Naoto. I love Marie way more than I love Naoto. But
it's like I'm back in high school woodshop. Whoa!
All right, Devin, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Hot burn
20. Oh shit! I stopped the time. Fuck. Oh no! It kept going.
What? Do you have a time?
So yeah, 28, 17 seconds.
Well, I had the book for maybe 30 seconds. So background feat, yes. Answer to feat, yes. Class feat 1, 2, 3. Good. You have your equipment there. You haven't written your bulk, but you said you didn't care.
Yeah.
Because you don't play encumbrance much anyway. So.
With my base strength at being at a +4, I don't think that's really going to be.
It's a secret cannon, 13 hit points. Okay, fortitude, dex. Okay.
Am I the only one who prefers Naruto's parents over him and his own offspring?
Oh, you didn't need to write slashing there because slashing is the S right there.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
What was the name of their?
Okay.
But aside from that, you're done.
All right,
the guy
that's
with the
all.
one eye and
28 minutes, 17 seconds for Jed.
Kakashi?
Yeah, love that guy.
Now, keep in mind, that's the very first time you've done it, so...
Yeah,
Kakashi was the best one. That's why when they killed him off, they brought him back.
Fastest I've made a character in 2nd edition has been 7 minutes and 40 seconds.
Good.
So,
deity,
42. But.
And
well, the fastest I've made a character is in Fate. And that's a minute.
That is a lie.
All right.
The fastest
28 minutes,
made in
40 seconds, 11
yes, there is.
microseconds. For Seconded, I have now built a character in every single system.
That's a lie.
Which do I prefer? Christ.
I'm looking forward to hearing this, and I will watch it in post, but sadly I do need to go.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Thank you for tuning
Bye,
in.
Devin.
Whoop.
Sorry, Dave, that I'm taking away your warmth.
No.
Oh, I'm going to sit back. I almost want to just go and build the Dragon Zord right now. That was exhausting.
Okay. I'm going to take Devin's spot then. Because I'm still doing stuff.
Oh.
It's all good.
It's not hard to prefer Naruto's parents, though.
Are you actually going to move, or are you just
I'm actually gonna move.
taking it? Okay.
Oh, Christ.
Make sure there's space
And
for it.
as soon as Devin comes in, as soon as Devin leaves, Abra comes in.
You notice you never see them in the same place.
Later,
I didn't even know
Devin.
that was a thing. You guys are going to have to tell me about that.
It wasn't. I just made it up now.
Oh, okay.
You literally met him at Bravo.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
Bye, Devin.
Bye.
Oh, oh boy. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna start.
It's kind of trippy on the camera. Yep.
Oh, okay.
You're sitting on my feet.
No.
Ah.
Oh. So, do people want my thoughts on all 3 systems
No.
and building a fighter mage? Oh my God, Christ. All right.
You want that?
I don't fucking understand proficiency in second at all. Like, at all. And I can admit that. Oh, we didn't make Devin eat the candy.
No. Oh no! I'll
Fuck.
eat it.
Next time. No. We leave it for him. It will only get better.
It will only get better.
Somehow it
All right.
ages well.
If you had to... Okay. First off, 5th Ed. By far the easiest. I brought this up with you last time when we built a character the first time. By far the easiest. If you wanted me to build a quick one-shot character, I would build it in 5th first and foremost.
But my God, is that book poorly laid out?
That is the most poorly laid out book I've ever fucking seen. No, not the worst. I've seen worse.
I believe the worst, in your own words,
is
were
Marvel
one of the
Hero-
Firefly books.
Yeah, no, the worst book, the worst book period and system to date to me is still Marvel Heroic RPG. Firefly comes in second.
Okay.
Um,
I've not played.
Don't. I will
I've
show you
played
that.
both Firefly systems.
I got into a fight with the lead developer about it.
Of what? Firefly?
No,
Or
Marvel.
Marvel? Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I literally was like, dude, why did you build it this way? Why did you not build it better? And he stopped answering my emails.
In my personal opinion, I swear they need to play test the layout. Also, the halflings and gnomes in 5th Ed are freaky looking.
Apparently, which book is laid out worse, 5e or Scion?
I thought Scion was pretty well laid out.
Science okay. The problem is Scion is sectionally not laid out properly,
okay.
and it's not indexed great. That's the problem with Scion. You will look for things. You will have to go back and forth across the
That's
book.
my desktop wallpaper.
Mhm.
This is a fucking great photo.
With Scion, you will have to go to one section and then immediately jump to another section to get the answers to your questions. Yeah. It's all in there, but it was not grouped properly, and it's not indexed properly either. Yeah. This, I don't even know what's wrong with this.
5th Ed has a bit of jumping back and forth.
It does, but it's like there should be. Devin is right. There should be a little more detailed rules in here.
Like in the first couple of pages, there is a
guide.
walkthrough of
but it's not that great.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah,
They have the step by step.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I find there's a little bit of jumping back and forth.
There is. But yeah, if you wanted me to run play a short game in this, I would have no issue. Absolutely not.
I'll run that for you guys.
I haven't even gotten to the book binding bit. I've just been cutting paper.
But that
You know
means that it has something for them to come back to next time.
I'll bring you guys into my world.
But that just means I'm going to have to...
it's the one Sam and the others have played in.
Because I'm going to finish doing this one. Well, not maybe tonight, but like I will finish doing this one before next month.
No, save it. Save it, because then you have a narrative you are building within the craft streams.
How about you show them the one book you've already done?
I did show them the one book I already did. I'll show
And
them
what's
again.
to come?
So this is the first book that I actually bound myself, and it's made with fake leather.
Turned
But
out pretty
unfortunately, it did turn out pretty well. The only thing is that I'm really upset about is that the pages are actually too big for the actual cover itself.
well.
It's fairly well done. I didn't put any what is it called?
Arting?
No.
Wait, that's for horses.
I can't remember what it's called. It's like a book. It's a book little end thingy. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, it actually
Is it
opens
this
up
thing?
the
No, just talk about the stitching at the top.
the stitching thing up at the top of the book.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Right.
So
that
I'm talking about the bookmark ribbon.
No. I can do that. That's easy. But I didn't put any of those on there because of the fact that I didn't know what I was doing. This is fake leather. This is also cardstock in here, and it's actually focus. It's I like it a lot. It does work really well, and it actually opens up pretty well too.
Anyway, shall I continue with the different book comparisons?
Also, in Trudvang, there is a lot of titties.
Minute it is.
Back to the RPG systems.
Here, I'll
This
switch
is an
over to you.
RPG system.
That way you can talk while I'm doing this.
All right.
Oh, God.
Next, first ed.
Pathfinder.
Griffins are hardcore in this.
May I, Dave?
No.
Christ.
Never!
If you had to ask me which game I would play a long game in, hands down, I would play it in this. Because, and I've said this before and I will say that again, while the crunch is shitty for like a one-shot, in the long term, that crunch is you growing. Those extra rules and stuff. Because out of the gate, I was able to do power attack. If I'd had access to stuff beyond the core book, which went against the rules of what we had today, I'd have Furious Focus. And it's just huge. And I love it. Having finally built a character in second, and having had a few months to read the rules, there's good and there's bad in here. In second ed. I hate the four different levels of proficiency, mostly because they're not on the character sheet itself. I know at some point I will remember it, but for the longest time I will not be remembering it. And I know that goes against the argument I made earlier about a newbie versus a veteran player. I like how a lot of like the secondary rules, like all of the back rules for everything, as Devin was listing earlier, are finally laid out and they're just nicely orientated in here and all of that. There are class builds in there here I hate outright. If you told me they were stripping out proficiencies and just doing skill bonuses and just how it is in Starfinder, I would say this is a perfect system. I would say this is perfect out the gate. I'm kind of sad there's no theme in here. There aren't themes in here like there were in Starfinder. I like how the fact that the classes are more modular and you're just going to have more feats that are popped in. I get the complaint that there are too many feats. I completely understand that. But yeah, no, I would if I was going to say Paizo, if you wanted to fix this, strip out your proficiency levels, give us skill point raises and predictable level 8 raises as you did in Starfinder. This system would be perfect. I know you're not going to do that because it's a big part of what you build. You okay, Sam?
My back hurts a little bit.
Oh.
Can I poke it?
Sure.
Poke in the back.
That is my thoughts out the gate. Of course, I'm always around for more thoughts about this subject matter. But yeah, there's a perfect system in here. And I don't even hate the action economy like I originally did of grading how long your abilities go for. It's very tabletop-y though. You know? It's very tabletop-y. And
That really hurts. What is that?
your back?
But it hurts.
I don't know.
Okay, Big Mike, is there any fictional settings you think you couldn't ever be able to DM a game in?
I couldn't because for what reason would I not be able to? I could DM anything. Have you met me?
Oh, jeez. Kelpies.
The only thing... Yeah, they always look like that, right?
Bog horses.
Yeah. The only thing... there's plenty of systems I couldn't... There's plenty of worlds I couldn't do due to a lack of popularity. Like, I would love to do a game in the Legacy of Kain franchise. I would love to do a Super Robot Wars game. Love to. But I don't know how well it'll go over with you guys.
I would do it. You know me.
Oh, you would.
Because I would get the Gal Geiger.
The smartphone isekai.
Did you want to move the laptop over?
No, I got my thing here. I'm not reading it for some reason.
You should read that one then.
Yeah, I like the smartphone isekai.
Pterodactyl. Gundam! Yes, Gundam!
We know Pterodactyl. Dragons. But yeah. That's my closing thoughts of the three. I thought I'd be discussing this a lot more. It was mostly Devin talking. Oh well.
It's okay. The fact that Devin was actually here to, participate in the thing is good, so...
Yeah. And if you want more of my thoughts, ask me on the Discord. Ask me here in another stream. I'm more than happy to give them. If you want to ask me... Screw it. I will tell you what my favorite system is of these. Starfinder.
That's not any of those.
I know, but it's the best of the 4. It really is.
Thanks, Jeremy Fox.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's right in between all of them, and it's the best for it, and it's in deep space. If you told me I had to, out of the box, pick...
It's a pretty tasty system.
If I had to pick out of the box one of those, I would pick Starfinder.
Out of the toy chest?
Yeah, out of the toy chest, yeah. Which sucks, because it's not fantasy at all. But, yeah, no, it would be Starfinder. Because I've heard the arguments about First Ed, and the crunch is too much. There's way too much.
Actually, I have a question. If the people who are watching the stream, if I started selling real leather books, would you guys buy them? Because I would totally do that. Ugh.
Hrimtisher.
Hrimtisher?
He's not small.
I noticed. He's the size of a mountainside. What would be the amount of points you would assign for Fate's Day Night
Squall.
Bessem game? That is entirely dependent on what the star rating of the servants are.
Squall's like, yes, if I had money. And Jack is like, probably.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Here's some fuckers. Check that shit out.
Why do you keep showing to me when you can't show to them?
I know.
That's not fair to them.
But they're...
Why did you say... Yeah.
Damn. Show them these.
But, yeah. No, that would be my
which
easy
camera?
pick would be Starfinder of the 4, if I had to pick one.
Wait.
Look at that.
A lot of them are saying yes.
The Jotun. This is Throdvang. Where giants are really big.
Jack's like, I wouldn't mind a new spell book, and Terror of Death is like, yes, 1,000 times yes, if I made a leather book. That'd be okay. I will consider it then.
Why don't you just put it up on your Etsy store and say they're made on demand?
Yeah, but I have to have one for show. That's why I was kind of wanting to finish this one. So that way I actually have a real leather one to take pictures of.
And you can see the love and care that goes
Oh, best
into them.
servant in Fate who isn't Iskander.
That's not fair. At all.
Jack's like, I want you to think about this.
That's not even fair. That's
Okay.
not... Just... No. It's Iskander.
I like Kahulin.
It's not Iskander.
You can't take Iskander.
She's the best one! Okay. Are we personality? I'm guessing personality and powers, then. I like...
Come on.
Try to think. Rider of Black, because I'm weak for traps. God damn it, Volsar. Younger Iskander. No, I'm just kidding.
You just switch it back to a us view. Or, oh, wait, you're still crafting.
I am crafting.
She is crafting.
Right on.
You might as well keep crafting. We still got another 20 little extra thing.
That's what I was doing.
Keep crafting, please.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Okay. I believe in you. You can do the thing.
Big Mike, I wouldn't mind seeing a D20 Live game set in Babylon 5 universe.
Oh, I do not know
we could do
Babylon.
that in Starfinder.
We could. Just have to strip out all the powers. Magic and
yeah,
stuff.
that's true. Although there were a lot of people who were psychic. There were like the Vorlon had crazy fucking powers.
Oh.
If you put a tech spin on it,
Yeah.
you can keep all that. It's just you have to do it after, like, I don't know, the Excalibur age.
Oh, I like Murasame actually in Fate. Although he hasn't appeared as a proper servant though.
Here, I'm gonna put a bookmark here with the dragon's worms.
D20 Live and Stargate, because that's the thing. Like, I'm not. Tom's the biggest Babylon 5 and Stargate guy.
Is he?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, very much so. CSI the RPG. See, here's the thing. It would start off as an investigation, but I would make it stupid. Like at some point, there would be a thing of, well, someone clearly got killed in the site. What did and you would all roll perception. What do you notice? A large sword mark in the side of the wall. And a plethora of chicken feathers.
So it's Lancelot then. Lancelot killed him.
Yes.
There's something salty on the floor. Semen.
And some people are saying Nero is the best servant for the Fate franchise. Oh boy, but yeah. Oh, Babylon 5 had 2 D20 versions. I'm sorry, Tipslore.
Well, maybe we do that. Yeah, forget Starfinder.
Just do the Babylon 5 RPG. I thought there was, too. I didn't want to
Plus
say.
5 for the Who music. What? Oh, for if we did
Doctor Who?
You
No,
joke, but
the-
that was the murder in an episode of CSI. I know, but my entire goal would be to make CSI as dumb as possible, because I hated CSI. Because you don't understand. When I was going into university was when that show was getting hot, and we had a criminal forensics course, or a major or something, and everyone dropped out of it without fail. You know exactly who I'm talking about, too.
Oh, I almost went
No.
into that course.
I'm not going to say his name because of the role.
Okay.
But yeah. No, never mind. I'll tell her. He was your roommate.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
one.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't deal with it. He couldn't
No
deal
one
with
could.
The blood.
But like we had so many people, and I hated it. All the forensics club would do was watch CSI. They
It
would.
sounds like my English class, except we watched Law and Order.
To be
Because
fair-
it was well written.
To be fair, I really wanted to become a CSI after watching CSI because of the fact that I realized that I could probably do it and not be one of the people who threw up. But the only reason why I didn't is because of the fact that I'm allergic to formaldehyde. So, there's Dave's thing he wanted to show.
From the Trudvang. Oh.
But yeah, I would make a procedural cop show, and I would throw in so many
Thank you.
so many stupid twists that I could think of. Oh, they rebooted Magnum PI? Why?
Yeah, they did. And
Why?
it looks hokey as hell.
I don't care.
Apparently, he keeps getting chased by dogs, though.
Well, that's actually was a thing. In the original show.
That's amazing.
It's just, no dog liked him.
Oh, that's
Magnum
good.
at all. Yeah, everything from the 80s is getting a fucking reboot, apparently. But yeah, I would go out of my way to make this as stupid as possible. And the thing is, everyone will be guessing what universe they're in the whole way through. We're somewhere in the D20 Live continuity. Where did we end up? Are the buildings Germanic? No. Okay, we're not in Attack on Titan. That is literally what I would do. Is just constantly make this investigation, the players figuring out what D20 Live world they're in.
There we go. This is a nice character sheet.
It is.
So every movie too far from Rush Hour to Lethal Weapon. That's what John said. I don't know.
Okay.
I like Castle.
Castle's alright.
I liked Castle. Castle was a good show. Nathan Fillion was in it, and I liked Nathan Fillion. And then I broke up with my ex who loved Castle, and so I stopped watching it because I was like,
He's in a new show.
yeah.
Now instead of being tied to the cop,
He is the cop. To be fair, Castle gets married to the cop,
Yeah, well,
so
he's still not a cop.
this is a different ex than the ex that everybody else knows about. Because I don't talk about all my exes. I only talk about the one, apparently.
Love you.
Oh, you too.
Yes, that's right. Michael here. He is Scott Pilgrim.
Actually, Matt was.
That one, the one I'm talking about, the one who liked
Right.
Castle, was actually basically Scott Pilgrim. Because because at the time I had dated 7 guys, and he was a bass guitarist.
Oh.
And he had the exact same bass guitar as Scott Pilgrim. And he, and the thing is, at the same time, like 3 other exes at the time was like, hey Sam, I'm still in love with you. And I'm like, oh no!
Then you met me.
And then I met you.
And it was a thing of, well, I could go after this guy and I won't be Ramona Flowers anymore. I'll just be his girlfriend. Oh, but yeah. The Unexpectables.
Not that, no, it's a different guy. Different guy, Squall. Because because the Scott Pilgrim guy is different than the asshole ex, so.
The Unexpectables. What are the Unexpectables? I haven't answered.
Oh, the dwarfies are so dwarf.
I kind of want to open up the Dragon's Art box because we're still technically on craft time. I'm going to go do that.
Go open the thing.
I will go open the thing.
The thing. It must be opened.
I will open it.
Oh.
Oh, craven.
Why you gotta give me shit?
Who's giving who shit?
This thing.
Oh, that thing. So yeah, Trudvang Chronicles. puts a lot more... oh man, they do have skinwalkers. No, wait, those are... What? Anyway, puts a lot more emphasis on surviving the wild, and then these horrific battle encounters. So you've got to... you can only carry so much, and then you go out there and you have to rely on like hunting and trapping, and then surviving fucking wandering Jotun, just traipsing through the landscape, and hopefully you don't catch their eye. And the dwarfs are really dwarfy, like way dwarfier than the 7 dwarfy, and not like midget dwarfy either.
Okay, what is up with you? Why are you...
Unexpectables is the 5e game that has Takahata and Gaiju Goomba as players. Oh, all people I keep trying to get for D20 Live. Swear to God, the stories I could tell about trying to get
I
players.
thought that was Speedrunner. The have you seen the game Speedrunner? Markiplier played it once.
No, it's a tabletop game they're playing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this looks like it's gonna be fun.
So
look
Sam,
at the
you're
golem.
saying that for a time in your life was eventually a real version of an indie graphic novel. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not
the graphic
kidding you.
novel was way better than the movie.
Yeah, the graphic novel was way better than the movie.
I
But
like the
yeah, no,
movie
like
better.
for a time in my life, everyone called me Ramona Flowers because at the time I dated 7 guys and I dated a bass guitarist who had the exact same bass guitar. And on top of that, it didn't help that he actually loved the movie.
Yeah, he was.
So,
He was
but-
kind of soft in the brain.
to be fair, no, that's not
Not that one.
not that one. The other.
No, I know which one you're talking about, and I'm still calling him soft in the brain.
No, but he was a good guy, right? He
Oh
wasn't.
wait, so we're not talking about that one.
No, you're not.
No.
Okay.
So,
This is a lot harder to do without the names.
Yeah.
like,
Drive a bus.
no, not that one.
Okay.
So, the one in between when I dated that one twice.
Oh boy.
So, but yeah, no, like that guy, he was actually a really sweet guy, and I liked dating him. He was really sweet.
Let's see the box.
No candy in it.
But yeah, no, like I broke up with him because of the fact that, well, 1, he smoked, and 2, he didn't really want kids in the end, so that was a big thing for me.
And he smoked.
Well,
And that's not good to kids.
it's not good to kids. It's not good to anybody, really.
Yeah.
It's just, I thought I could do it, but he ended up smoking way more than I originally realized, so I'm just like, nope, I can't really do this. So for my own health, I need to not. We did not see Venom yet.
I don't want to see Venom. I've heard it's terrible. And there's a gay subplot between Venom and his symbiote. And then normally...
Is it because it's in him all the time?
Apparently they make out, which is really fucking weird. And I'm not... And you know me, I'm not exactly adverse to homosexuality adaptations within my narrative. That's just fucking weird.
Because Eddie Brock is not a nice person.
No.
Brock, not a nice person? No.
But the guy playing him, I'm sure is nice.
Tom Hardy? He seems to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
By all accounts.
There's no story about him having done horrible things in it fast that I know of.
No.
Like Marky
To
Mark.
women or otherwise.
Yeah. Like Marky Mark.
But yeah, no, it's. I've heard Venom is just getting lambasted. It's the kind of movie you're going to go see when we all want to make fun of it later.
So not actually go see, but watch. Surrounded by friends. and riff
From
track it.
everyone I've talked to... Oh, sorry. Quick question, Mike. How tough is a shambling mound? That's what Rusty's asking.
Depends on the size of the shambling mound. But they're
No,
usually-
he's about to fight one in Kingmaker.
If you're not level 4, run.
Fire is your friend, bud.
If you're not level 4, run the fuck away. It's a giant mound to go fuck yourself. You wouldn't think your compost pile could kick your ass, but it's a CR6.
Yeah, it's coming for you.
I'm running!
Yeah, run. Are you? Yeah. Shit. Run.
This is bad news bears. Right here, bud.
Like that. This is bad news bears.
Like the first shambling mound I think I've dealt with, we were all pretty low level.
You ran the other way. You saw it. It's like, yeah, there's this weird section of hill that's covered in moss and grass, and it's moving. Go! Go! Go!
Run away! We don't know. But
And
later,
you refused to fight them again until you were level, like,
actually,
7 or 8.
before I was correct level,
Yeah.
we went back at it with a platoon of rangers.
Yeah, you did! And it still put up a good fight.
It did put up a good fight, but we wrecked it.
And then you sent
after.
those... Oh, yeah. Oh, also, to anyone who's playing Kingmaker, do not go to Candlemere Island.
It's bad news.
Don't go. Don't go to Candlemere Island.
It's a bad time.
Just don't go there. Just don't go until you have just nothing but potions. Do not go to that
You're
island.
gonna have a bad time. We came up with the nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
You didn't nuke it, though. You just went in with every soldier you had, and you guys were the only ones who walked out alive.
Just because we had magic items.
Yeah.
And that was how we got our way out.
I don't know if they changed Candlemere Island, but the original module Candlemere Island, you do not go to.
It is rough.
It is rough.
I'm not going to spoil what's there, but
Just don't go.
We needed to hire. We didn't need. We wanted to hire a
Your
battalion of wizards.
Yeah, just to bomb the island.
Yeah, from like a sky ship.
Because it was like watching the opening of Ghostbusters every time you guys would go there.
You look there.
It's just like, is that what I think it is? Yeah. Is that more of them coming over the hill? Yeah, I've never seen so many. They move in herds.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, so apparently it was edited to be PG-13, so it's rough. Tom Hardy says all of his favorite scenes were edited out. There's a 40 minutes missing.
Of what? Oh, Venom.
Venom.
They made a PG-13. Venom is not a PG-13 character. He eats people. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
I heard.
Well, no, Venom doesn't eat people. Venom, vigilante justice kills a lot.
Yeah. Like
I've heard a lot of Lady Gaga fans tweeted bad stuff about Venom so that people would watch the Gaga movie instead. Yeah, I heard that too. It's still dumb.
Oh, those little monsters.
Considering the fact that if you look at the actual, like, whatchamacallit, the actual, like, reviews of it from legitimate sources, they will still say that Venom was pretty bad. Gaga fans did not need to do this.
Also, A Star is Born really is, like, the 4th remake. You've not heard that A Star is Born has been made, like, 4 times already?
To what end?
Like, different actresses in different time periods. Like, there was one in the 40s, there was one in the 60s, one in the 70s with Barbra Streisand.
Yeah.
So...
Okay.
Yeah, it's not exactly a new story.
Okay. And apparently Ultimate Venom did eat people.
Huh?
Ultimate Venom.
Oh.
From the Ultimate Spider-Man storyline.
Good times.
And apparently, yeah. Venom is more PG-13 than Carnage, though. Apparently, yeah. Would you both like to know who Carnage is? Okay, who would you guys cast?
Oh, was Carnage in Venom?
Yeah, he shows up at the very end.
Oh, jeez. Can we get Eric Foreman back?
Sam, who would you pick to play Carnage?
Who would I pick to play Carnage?
Yeah. I'll tell you who it was.
Hang on. Who would I pick to play Carnage? I'm trying to think of who I would pick to play Carnage.
The guy from the
Don't chat. Don't reveal it. Don't reveal it.
What is it?
I'm going to tell them.
A Star is Born! Nice dip slur. That's good. Oh, fuck.
A younger Jack Nicholson I would totally have play Carnage.
Maybe,
Okay.
I can't think of anybody now.
I would cast the guy from Smashing Pumpkins.
You're an odd fella.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson.
Why?
He's the new Carnage.
Woody Harrelson?
But why?
Sorry, I gotta look at the picture.
I'm gonna let you... I'm waiting for Dave to see the face. But they put Woody Harrelson in a red wig.
Wasp got eaten, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were in a relationship, Captain America was an asshat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Ultimate Universe.
Huh?
Are you looking at Woody Harrelson's face?
Huh?
Yeah, that's Carnage.
Huh?
Yeah, that's Carnage.
No. That's bad.
I could see... You know who I could see? I know it's not he's not a popular guy to
Remember who the
cast.
guy was.
I would get Jim Carrey. Like, I've heard Jim Carrey's incredibly difficult to work with sometimes.
He's got ADD.
No, fair enough.
His life is ADD.
Also, right now he's kind of in this whole, I am being a legitimate actor.
I know.
Not actor, actor.
I know who we would cast. Jim Carrey as Fire Marshal Bill as Carnage.
Where did you go?
Jack was like, I could play a better Carnage than Woody Harrelson.
Jack, where's your resume? Where's your
it's an acting
IMDb.
resume.
Yeah.
IMDb. No.
Your acting resume.
Oh no! Oh god.
Or your.
Who would I cast? I said Jim Carrey.
Can we not talk about IMDb?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
No, it's just 'cause
Even I've got a thing on there, and it's spelt wrong.
I do. I have a thing on IMDb as well.
I don't.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. No. Okay. Does anybody want to hear about the reason why I'm on IMDb?
I think we don't.
You know, but they don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Does anybody want to know the reason why I'm on IMDb? Because it's sad.
All right.
Did I tell them last time? I can't even remember.
You mentioned it because you were in a zombie movie.
Yeah, I was in a zombie movie.
Patrick
You
David
brought that
Gray.
up. I know you have.
Yes, Sam.
A
Sure.
movie called War.
Okay.
Art Department.
Oh, Dark Summer's Wind remembers why. Okay. Yep, zombies. Alright, so I was in a zombie movie. It was really shitty. It's called Zombie Nights. Not sponsored by the movie at all. But then again, it's also a B movie that was made in, like,
Oh, yeah,
done in, like, 2003 or something like that. Because I was, yeah. So, I'm in the movie, but the thing is that every time I say I'm in this movie, people look at me and they go, what kind of fucking movie are you in? Because the first 10 minutes of this are literally two dudes just, like, having sex.
Really?
Not kidding. There's two dudes watching other people play, watching, two dudes watching other people have sex. And it was just like,
asshole.
oh, we had a donation, sorry.
We did?
Yeah, full star.
Volsei Other Pilot says, if you could pilot a Gundam, which would it be? I would pilot the Gundam Crossbone.
I would.
X1 Kai Skullheart.
Oh, Gundam for me. Ooh, that's tricky. I do like me some of that. The ones from 08MS team, but I what's the one from Stardust Memory?
The Dendrobium, the GPO-3.
Yeah. GPO 1 and 3, including the Dendrobium.
Shining Gundam.
You haven't found the God Gundam yet.
It's the only Gundam I know, so.
That is not the only Gundam you know, but...
It's the only Gundam that I know that I like. How about that?
I've heard it before. It was before Big Mike's personal rant. That's fair.
But I was in a zombie movie, and it was the shoot itself was fine. The people who were in charge of it were nice, but I was like a teenager, and I thought, oh yeah, I should totally become an actor, and then I became an actor for this movie, and oh man, was it not fun. But because of the fact that we had to like record at like 10 o'clock at night on a school night in the middle of fucking winter with no jackets on in an abandoned like place where there were nails everywhere and I was terrified. So, which I think might be the reason why I'm actually a really big germaphobe now. So, but yeah, no, that's why I'm on IMDb. You can actually find me. I am zombie number 51 out of Zombie Nights.
I am apparently a prop master on my IMDb thing. From the art department. Not to be confused with a guy who was on the Chronicles of Riddick.
The name still kills me. Oh, the Tequila Gundam, yeah.
What the hell? Transportation department?
Oh yeah, the Haku Shiki. I've never seen that thing in operation though. Chat, you got any more questions for us? Because we're in the last stretch of this.
Oh, I gotta check on the flight.
Got it?
No, go ahead.
It's 5 o'clock now, so.
Yeah, it's projected at landing at 5:07. So.
Okay.
Oh, Jackie Earl Harley, who played Rorschach in Watchmen. He would be a good Carnage.
Actually, yeah.
I'm down
I'd
to the
agree with
last
that.
4 pages.
Do the thing.
You can do it! We're gonna do nothing to help, but we completely support you!
Woo!
Woo!
Get some Ric Flair in there.
Come on, guys, ask us questions. We're done working now. Well, I am.
I'm not, but...
Sam's not.
She's doing her thing. Charlie,
So apparently I am not allowed to be a blacksmith.
No.
Sam.
Because
Yes,
he wants to make furnaces out of propane, okay?
Okay, you're exaggerating.
with
wanna make-
propane and out of empty propane tanks. Plus, we wouldn't use propane tanks. We'd use fire extinguisher tanks.
Actually, you should use a clay crucible. They break a lot less.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
A which crucible?
Clay crucible.
Oh, clay, yes.
I asked earlier, but you might have missed this. What universes have you not done on D20 Live that you would want to do?
Oh, okay. Legacy of Kain, I'd like to do the Super Robot Wars universe. I'd love to do Transformers, but we've gone through the reasons why I wouldn't do that one. Something in Dragon Ball Z I'd love to do. I finally figured out what to do for a Power Rangers game.
I was fighting the Green Ranger and his giant hair. You got a permanent in my mind.
Where did you go? What else?
Mike, what are your favorite types of weapon? If you had to swing around something, what would it be?
Long swords. Just swords. I love swords.
Although you do have a mace.
I do have mace. It's very nice.
And an S word.
Yeah. I love swords.
Sword.
But yeah,
Broadsword.
those are the ones I would pick. Dave, what universes would you like to go to?
Personally, or in game?
For D20 Live.
I do love how the Imperium is traipsing through Faerun right now.
Everyone loves it.
That's beautiful. Worlds I'd like to go to though. That's a hard one. My mind doesn't work that way. To find this stuff and just pull it out and it's like worlds It's like
Think about it. Sam, what about you?
I want to do a Persona game.
Oh, hey, they're on the ground.
You're on that?
Yeah, they landed early.
Oh boy. Okay.
No, they landed just now.
Oh, okay,
well,
then
you should still get there because they're going to go through everything.
that's gonna take 20 minutes.
I like how they're saying on ground looking for parking space. Where are we gonna park this plane? I like watching like real pilot stuff, so them talking to the air traffic control and finding parking spots and getting on the ramp and stuff.
Why is the chat not updating for me?
It's crazy. Oh God, no!
The glory greatest Sword Lord. Sword Lord.
Is Elminster still alive in the D20 Live canon? Yes.
Somehow.
For now.
Maybe it's because they wrote him to be almost unkillable. And they never statted him, I don't think.
Better call in Carr for the Power Rangers game. Of course I'm going to call him for the Power Rangers game. If you guys vote it up, it'll be the Bravo game. That follows after Avatar. This coming Christmas, we'll be doing the survey for that.
Oh my, everything.
But yeah, Elminster is still alive. I'm kind of saying, what the hell is the name of the goddamn thing from Waterdeep? The
Xanathar?
Yeah, the Xanathar. I'm saying the Xanathar is dead.
Oh no.
Oh no, the Xanathar died. And his fucking goldfish and that weird stupidity.
Oh no!
Well, we
That's
ever
how
see
you
the
kill him.
Marvel.
You kill the goldfish, and then he's like, "I can't do it anymore,"
Split.
and deals with himself.
Will we ever see the Marvel Universe? Yes. In fact, the Marvel Universe has already affected D20 Live canon in ways you do not know. It will be explained later. I'm just saving it because I did Marvel Universe way back in Terrible Warrior, so I want to be a while before I go back to that.
All right, my lovelace.
Night, Dave.
Well, I'm still here. I gotta pack up.
I know.
I love you all. If you're not on the Patreon, please consider it.
Yep. If you could have any writer's powers, whose would you choose? Can't be Decade or Zeus because you'd have... Okay, fair enough.
Writer's powers or writers?
Common writer powers.
Common writer.
Oh, writer.
I like Blade a lot, but the easy one is for powers it'd be Kabuto's because Clock Up is just really broken. Off the top of my head, like there's writers I prefer so much more than Kabuto because I hate him as a character, but I would have. He's so fucking annoying. But he's got by far the best writer power. And I really like the eloquence of his suit. Will we revisit Cthulhu? If you guys vote it back up, you will. Best Battle Royale style anime. Battle Royale.
The original.
The original novel and manga thereof. Because I have not seen anything do it quite as well as the Battle Royale manga, even through the shitty English translation, of which you cannot find a fan translation thereof.
What's that James Bond opening theme? Nobody does it better.
It's just, there's no point in accepting a substitute.
Nobody does it better.
Jordan's here.
Oh, hey,
In the
Jordan.
chat.
Hey, Jordan!
Chaotic
Jordan.
Dynasty's Jordan, right?
Yeah, Chaotic Dynasty is Jordan.
Yeah.
Which one?
Chaotic
Chaotic
Dynasty.
Dynasty.
On the YouTube chat.
Which Jordan?
Jordan.
Our Jordan.
Our Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You suck, but we understand. Hey, Jordan, maybe later tonight we'll kill some deers.
Have fun, you two.
Not beers, deers.
I know, you're playing a game.
Gaim's power, give it best power. We love
Right,
Gaim.
but they're not... Gaim's god powers at the end of the show are the best power, but that's not a suit power, that's just what he has.
Isn't that like all the powers?
Yeah. That's from the fruit, that's not from his suit. Fuck them deers.
I love how they tried to do the juicing thing and then they completely miffed on it.
If you want Psionics for Starfinder Dreamforce, we'll have it available soon. That's Psionics Unleashed. I've already have that PDF. I don't have a need for the
But for
book.
Starfinder.
Oh, for Starfinder. Fuck. Oh, okay.
Because there's already limited psionics, like
Yeah,
telepathy
but not
and
like
stuff,
full on.
but not weaponized
Yeah.
telepathy.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check
Okay.
that out and see how that
Mike,
is.
also related question, which writer show would you love to enter and why?
None. The general presumption of a writer world is if you are a person, it sucks. I will remind you that Akito had people being teleported to trees.
It's like that question. Which fantasy universe you want to be in? And everybody's like Harry Potter, Star Wars. It's like no one wants to go to Hunger Games.
Yeah, no.
No one would ever want to go to
I
the Hunger
can't think of a
Games.
writer world. Maybe Agito's, only because there's a chance I'll become a writer.
Is that a widespread thing?
No, because people who have psychic abilities in Agito are actually slowly becoming Kamen Rider Agito themselves.
Funny.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Dave, you left a drink in the.
I got it.
Okay, cool.
Your mum let me know. Lovely lass.
How would I do a zombie apocalypse game?
I need my
I would-
D5E.
What? Oh, you're 5e, yeah. I know exactly what I would do. I would grab New World of Darkness and say each one of you pick a monster race. Go, you're survivors in the zombie apocalypse.
Aren't all common writers in the same world? Now.
Now. Now. They weren't for a while.
Wait a second.
But yeah, no, generally speaking, if you're in a Kamen Rider world...
Where's the... Oh, I put it in here. Okay.
Generally speaking, if you're in a Rider world, the monster du jour is hunting you down actively. Sentai worlds is probably a couple I would actually think of living in. If I knew them better.
Angel Grove!
No!
Just out of pure disgust, or...
Do you know how much that place gets blown up?
Actually, it really
Do you know how much
does
the
get blown up a lot.
the Japanese wards of Angel Grove get blown up? I say that because that's where they were filmed.
Yes, they were. Although, where the hell is Zordon's... it's a physical location, I know.
Yeah,
it was shot in
it's on
Star
top-
Trek.
Yeah, no, it's on a mountaintop
Where?
outside Angel Grove.
Also, Mike, I'm
IRL.
curious, if you could
Oh,
make your
God.
own writer, what
Okay.
would be the motif/gimmick be?
Oh, I came up with this. I would actually go back to
Gunpla.
the old Showa style
would be
kind of
Gunpla.
riders, and there wouldn't be like a motif or gimmick. You would just have a power-up belt, and the two riders would be Kamen Rider, Justice, and Valor, and the entire I would literally go back and do a Kamen Rider story and show how the old Showa shows would be done from a Western perspective.
All right, lovelies. Have a good one.
Honey!
But Rider and Sentai exist in the same world. Yeah, that's true. Bye. Oh, it's apparently an observatory in Arizona, Dave.
Neat. We'll look up. Thank you.
Oh.
And then there were two.
Yep, there's always two here. We're both answering what the canon answers is. Any chances for the JoJo universe? Yeah, I know. If you guys vote it up, I will completely do a JoJo Bizarre Adventure.
He will, because he knows it better than I do.
Yeah. But I would do it right after Arc 2, before the stands show up, and have it be you are all students of Joseph Joestar hunting the last of the vampires.
Just so that way you could play as Joseph.
Yes, that would be because I could play as Joseph.
the only reason why you want to do it.
That is the reason. I would be playing Joseph Joestar and just before he becomes the old, useless man.
What's the black with the red case on the ground?
In the background?
What?
Left or right? Oh, wait, this? Are you talking about this thing right here? Let me know if you are. Because I will explain what that is.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, boy, that is my past. This, way back when, WWE had a tradable card game called Raw Deal. And this was an expansion. Because you know how there's like tins and stuff for Magic the Gathering? They had a carrying case where most of us were using for our Raw Deal cards. Wow, it's been a while since I've opened this up. And it was the only way to get certain characters.
Jack really wants you to do the Joseph game.
You gotta get it voted up, Jack. But yeah, no. WWE had its own collectible battle trading card game. Yeah, I played it. Me and friends of mine were the sole Mississauga chapter. We once had so few turnouts, we just divvied up the tourney prizes for some of the monthly tournaments. Wasted so much money on that too. It went to Funk. There's still a card I'm missing for Rob Van Dam, which is also the hardest card to find. Yeah, it's Raw Deal. Have either of you seen Mushishi? Would you love to see you interact with the world? I have not.
I have not seen it. I've heard lots of good things about it, so I will probably eventually watch it.
Yeah, John's like, hey, it's Raw Deal. I'm like, yep, that's still my Raw Deal case. Sounds like a fake card game. Volsart was real. It was really weird. It was really real. And not actually a bad game either. God, I still want to get that fucking RVD card. It still haunts me. I'm a collector like that.
I love you.
Love you too. It's the last card I have to get for him. But yeah, it was surprisingly good. Had a really decent meta to it. They kept adding in a lot of new mechanics, though, despite many times to try to streamline it down. And it went to Funk because none of the wrestlers even knew it existed to promote it.
For me, I would base my writer powers on dinosaurs because dinosaurs have not been done in Kamen Rider before, and no particular does not count.
Yes, it does tear up, though. It kind of does. Also, don't say dinosaurs haven't happened yet, because that was basically Amazon. Basically.
Wasn't Joseph running a housing empire at that point in time?
Yeah. But you don't think Joseph Joestar ran off to fight vampires? That's why he only shows up to give missions and he's not actually there.
He lets other people do it.
He has other people do it that he's trained. Because Lisa would probably be retiring too.
I'm working on a Kamen Rider concept that pulls from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Cool.
Raw Deal started up at the same time I was getting into Cyberpunk CCG at the time.
Yeah. But it was underloved a lot. Understandably, too, because I can't imagine a lot of people wanting to play a wrestling card game. Austin was really overpowered. What?
It's wrestling.
Yeah.
Like
wasn't it a plot point that he let his skills with Hamon slip? Yeah, I know. It was. I disagree with that, but yeah.
Mike, we don't talk about Amazons.
I said Amazon, not Amazons. Amazon, the first one.
I thought the point of Harmon was that it slowed your... The Hamon was it slowed your aging. Strizo was about several hundred years old before you turned vampire.
No, Straits was only 70.
Also, Mike Sam, give us your best...
No, he wasn't even 70. He was just old.
Also, Mike Sam, give us your best impression of Joseph English.
Oh my god!
See, I can't do Joseph, but I can definitely do the English from,
Oh, sorry!
Fuck, what was it? Steins Gate. It's like, I am a mad scientist, son of a bitch.
You're adorable, you know that?
You're adorable.
But yeah. Anyone got any more questions because you're almost done.
Somebody's texting me! How dare! They know I'm filming!
But yeah, no, it's not like 700 years, because if you remember the old master of Hamon, who taught in Arc 1, was only like 80 years old. He still just looked like a straight up old guy.
Oh, he left his sweater down here.
Oh, okay.
It's right there.
Okay. Did you want to? I should actually
Because I'm still.
drop it off because you're still working.
I'm still working.
I love how Joseph doesn't do the prediction thing as much in Star Wars because he doesn't understand kids these days. Oh, he's coming back down.
Is he coming back down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get my sweater?
I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm going around this way.
Okay.
But yeah, Joseph is best Joestar. I don't care what anyone says.
And now it's the Sam stream. Quick, guys, what do you want to know? Secrets about Mike. Nothing? Nothing? Because I don't know anything about JoJo, guys. Sorry. I've only seen, like, Arc 1. Do a dance! You put your hands in the air and stick out your rear end, and then you wiggle it around. Who's the big bad? Okay, guys! What shampoo does he use? Old Spice. No, Kirkland, actually. Something from Kirkland. Do a better dance. No! Shut up, Jordan! Nice job on the signatures. Thank you, Tipsler. Big bad. Okay. I can give you a hint. He's showing up literally in 2 weeks. Yeah, he's gonna show up in... The big bad's gonna show up in Scott's game. Why do you think they emphasize the 3 orphan kids in the Dragon's Heist books, especially since they only had one blurb on the info? I have no idea.
What's up?
I said, since it's only myself, secrets about Mike, and they're like, what shampoo does he use?
Some stuff in a red bottle even he doesn't identify.
It's something from Kirkland.
Yeah.
So
The Costco was,
who is the winner, says Jack. He's showing up!
Yeah.
You will literally find out in 2 weeks, Jack.
Yeah.
What is he allergic to for non-nefarious purposes? He's actually not allergic to anything.
No,
It's me.
I am.
Oh, right, you are. For
Elastoplast bandages.
those
I
are
get
the
a rash.
only things.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
But
You know those bandages that are knit? If I put them on my skin, I just get a rash.
favorite book series. What is your favorite book series?
Mine? I don't have one favorite books. Well, I have my favorite book of all time, but I don't like revealing that one because everyone gets using weird looks. My favorite book series so far is currently the Dream of Eagles series.
Mine's Lord of the Rings. I'm very stereotypical. I'm sorry.
But I love the Powder Mage trilogy as well.
Okay, wait, no, actually I should explain why I'm stereotypical, because of the fact... Okay, my middle name
is Eowyn?
My middle name is Eowyn, guys. So, yeah, it's a little stereotypical for me to like Lord of the Rings. This stuff is called gauze. Kirkland is
It's not the gauze. There's because I've been covered in gauze and it's not it. There's something in that kind of bandage. There's a chemical that I react badly to.
Like, it's the plastic part of the bandage that he gets really...
I have not read the Nick Pumarov books. What's better, Hobbit or the second Lord of the Rings book?
Why do you do this to me, Jordan? How dare. If you had to twist my arm...
Is the second book that good?
The Hobbit's better. Two Towers is very good.
Really? Because I couldn't make it through the first book.
Yeah, no, the Two Towers is way better than the first one.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you had to twist my arm about it, then I would say The Hobbit is better.
Who is better, second Lord of the Rings book or second Star Wars movie? You're going to say second Lord of the Rings book.
Second Lord of the Rings book.
I haven't read the book, so I can't say that.
Because, okay, wait. Second Star Wars movie as in, like, Return of the Jedi? Or, like, the second one where it's, like, Empire... No, sorry, which one was it? The one with Anakin Skywalker in it.
No, they're saying second Star Wars movie, which is Empire.
Okay, so Empire. So, Why do you do this to me, Jordan? How dare you?
This is how you can tell he misses being here.
Yeah. Empire Strikes Back. Okay, so... Oh, fuck.
Mike, have you watched Part 5 first episode yet? I don't know it.
Kirkland is a town on the east side of Lake Washington. It's become a suburb.
Okay. It's also a brand of product.
It's also a brand of product up here that Costco sells.
Uses. Who would win, Gandalf or Vader?
Gandalf.
Read anything by Raymond E. Feist? No. Although I have a couple of his books. I haven't read them yet.
Because Gandalf can come back from the fucking dead, so...
I read Tales of Earthsea and I fucking hated it. Oh, JoJo Part 5. No. No, I've not, because I've really no interest in JoJo after Arc 3's done. Because the main villain's gone, and the rest of it is trying to recapture the magic of Dio without Dio, in my opinion. I read a few chapters of it, though, and it bored the hell out of me. No offense if you like it.
They asked me to do a dance, and I tried to dance to Cool Patrol, and it didn't work.
I love you.
Love you too.
Terror Death, turn off caps lock, man. Just choose life. What do you think the theory about Jar Jar being the biggest Sith in the prequels? It is. It is. It's just the same thing about Mario being a communist.
The town is where Costco gets the brand from. Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Didn't know that. Thank you,
Learn
Dripsel.
something new every day.
If you had a stand, what would its powers be? I actually came up with this a long time ago. Do you have an idea of what you would do if you had a stand?
It's the same thing as a persona, so.
Well, it's different because a stand has an ability.
I know, but it's like asking me what a persona, like which persona would I have, and I'm like, there's too many choices, and I can't narrow it down. Who would win pre-death Boromir or pre-King Aragorn? Oh, Jordan.
Is that really a hard question?
Boromir.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boromir would win only because of the fact that pre-King Aragorn would basically become like this really big, giant fucking softy. He'd be like, oh, well. Because pre-Lord of the Rings Aragorn is way more fucking badass. And then the Hobbit, and then he goes like, hobbits are cool. Okay, what's your stand while I'm thinking, apparently?
My idea was that it was a Hamon user, but the armors could reflect. Basically, the idea was it was basically a magnifying lens in an armor form that he would wear. And the idea was that when it was around him, he could emit Harmon out of his body and it would magnify it, but it would also invert itself around someone else, and he would punch them and they would basically be entrapped inside the armor and would do more damage. Although Harmon doesn't affect people, you get what I mean. But yeah, the idea was, I think I alternated between actual like ki, this was back when I was way younger, or just kinetic energy from impact. So it would either, it was basically like weird kind of tinfoil that just pushed it out.
For reference, my stand is Blind Guardian, and its ability is Mirror Mirror. It stores projectiles in a pocket dimension to be sent from the user's
Oh, you have to
behest.
come up with a name.
Okay, question. Do they all have to be actual, like, names from bands? Is that what that
They
is?
used to be tarot cards, but we ran out of tarot cards and gods.
Well, no, because Blind Guardian is a band. I know that.
Now they are, yeah. In which case I would call my stand Iron Maiden.
Disappointed.
What?
Disappointed.
Why? Why?
It's disappointed.
Yeah. I said Iron Maiden. It has to be named after a classic rock band or something. I did name it after classic.
No,
rock.
it's for me to
Oh.
explain it for my purpose, because I don't know JoJo that well. Because the author of JoJo is a huge classic rock fan.
Anyone else got any more questions for us or things? Because we're coming near the end.
Okay, can I make mine, like, can I just call mine Queen, and then it's just, like, the power of sound?
Okay.
Because then it's just a high-pitched squealing.
All right.
Because it makes more sense for that, because, you know.
Your stand can do whatever you want it to.
Well, okay, then, no. Because I could do Queen, and that'd be fine. Queen's already taken, damn it! Curses!
Do you want me to find out what the
Killer
Queen's...
Queen. Killer Queen's a song, it's not a band.
Oh yeah, because Killer Queen is the actual as the bad guys stand from Arc 4.
Sad.
And it touches people and they blow up remotely, I think.
Queen is the best band. I love Queen.
Especially when I call it Bohemian Rhapsody and all it does is put people in prison.
Why don't I fucking call it Bohemian Rhapsody? And
On the Mortal Engine series. Terror of Death, I have not heard of I have not read the Mortal Engine series. Oh, sorry. Killer Queen makes people into a bomb. My mistake.
Damn it, I have 2 extra pages, which means that... Excuse me. Did I miscount? Is that what this is?
Oh, okay. Killer Queen is all powers named after Queen songs. Killer Queen, Sheer Heart Attack, and another one Bites the Dust. You're already mad, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it's not your stand?
It's not my stand. Queen is my favorite band of all time.
Mike, what do you think of the Dark Wraith series? I have not read the Dark Wraith series, Jordan.
Because Bohemian Rhapsody's already taken. It's a so a pocket.
Bohemian Rhapsody's taken too? Because you could call your stand Don't Stop Me Now.
No.
Oh, The Show Must Go On.
No.
No, not that one.
No.
Too sacred.
Too sacred. Call it Mustafa, that'd be fine. There's an actual song that's called Mustafa.
Ah.
It's cool. I like it. Hashtag not my stand.
Sorry, Mike, both those are already taken. God damn it. Fucking hell.
Mustafa, Mustafa. Didn't like Queen for one thing only because Freddie was gay. Freddie was not gay, Freddie was bisexual. Bicycle race. Yes, I'll call it bicycle race. And it summons bicycles. That's my stand. It's 100% canon now. But yeah, Freddie was actually not gay. He was bisexual. He actually had a woman lover who, if 100%, if he said that he didn't like guys too much, he would have actually married her. And he left his entire estate to her.
Mike, 9 to 10, how great was the Incredible Dresden Files series? It's a 9 up until book 8, and then it drops down to a 2 after. Deal with it, Jordan.
Jack, I'm going to use that gravity-based stand or density-based.
Yeah, under pressure. Under pressure. Because you would just go, you know what my stand's name is? What? Under pressure. And they would hit, and they'd be like, we hate you. Too bad, you're still under pressure. Bicycle race is already taken, Sam.
Damn it! How dare. Okay, well I have 2 extra pieces of paper that I don't know what to do with.
Save it for the next project.
I could. Wow, I didn't know he was bi. Good on him. Yeah, no, he was bisexual. The thing is that people like to gloss over that because they go, well, his last one was a guy, so he must have been gay. And I'm like, no, he dated a lot of women and men. He was very, very open about his sexuality. And people were like, nope, he gay. And that's the thing that really pisses me off because it's just like, hey, look, you didn't even do your fucking research. End cards. No, I have colored cardstock to do that, so I will probably use the colored... Because, like, okay, if you look at this one that I have, hang on, let's switch it over. If you look at this one that I have, this one has colored end pages, so I'm going to use colored end pages again in order to do it for this book as well.
Alright, so, do you want to call it?
Yeah, I guess we can call it. I've done all my signatures, and I will probably finish this one up, and then I'll post it in the site. And then once I actually have an Etsy post for it, then I will make it so that way everyone can buy it if they want to. They can buy leather-bound books. You have to tell me how many pages you want, though. It's like, also, if people want me to rebind books, I can also do that, because I know how to do that as well. So, if you want me to rebind a book in leather, so, like, if you want me to rebind a book like this, but rebind it in leather covering, I can do that for you.
Yep, we will see you all in 8 days. Have a happy Thanksgiving, those of you who are Canadian. Next time we will be here, we will have Nicole and Beth down to play Monster Prom with you. And apparently I've been conscripted into this.
You have been, yes. You have to play it.
But I don't want to do it.
Too bad.
I don't want to play it.
You're gonna play it.
I don't want to play it.
You have to pick Monster Girl.
I don't want to be a monster girl.
No, you have to pick one to date. You can be a monster dude.
I don't want to be a monster dude either.
There's Frankenstein.
Damn you.
Haha.
Anyway, but yeah, it is late. We should go get dinner.
Yes.
You all have a lovely evening. We'll see you on the Discord after we're done eating. Otherwise, have a great one. Bye.
Bye.